Okay, so yeah, so with that being said, and I'm just off the map for some reason. Okay. Okay, so with that being said, like where was I? Your movement ability, your dash is the most broken piece of piece of your utility, right? Your kit.
Right.
It closes distance. You can play off angles. That's the point of it, is where you can play these fucked up angles, stay out in the open, and just murder people and get away for free, right? Well, not free, but yeah. So I'll go through the list. Sorry for yapping. So
No, you're good.
your pros, I kind of went over it. Comms, overall detailed and specific. So, that's a high level way of communicating where you're like, hey, I hear one, I hear two. Hey, I'm gonna leave you, bro. Hey, can you come with me? Can you do this?
Right.
Not in an aggressive or like a demeaning or talking down way. It's very like a leader type. So I wrote definitely a leader type communicator. So that indicates that you could definitely IGL all your games, which is a skill set, right? Being a leader, um,
Hmm.
leading them to victory, stuff like that, which is super crucial at these ranks because, you know, at these ranks they don't have even aim or game sets or any of the five categories I had. Obviously, they have some, but they cannot put it together where
Hmm.
they become a consistent, solid player where they can climb, right? That's why they're stuck. So, IGLs, you really need to IGL in this bracket to really win your game super hard, and you were doing it. You're doing it very well. I Obviously you can improve it as well. But yeah,
Right.
so and I also wrote your comms are certain. The way you're talking is certain. You're not uncertain. Like, what are we gonna do? Where should we go? Is he there? Right? You're just like, hey, one's here, one's A
Right.
main, one rubble. Right? Like that is like a high level way of communicating. So I really admire that about your comms right off the bat. It's you'll hear me in the
Hmm.
VOD. It's super uncommon for someone in your rank to have this skill set. Okay, this is a skill set people develop or have around probably not even diamond, probably like ascendant, okay, low ascendant, or even high ascendant when they start understanding that it's super important, right? Because comms
Hmm.
can lead you to losing rounds, so like bad
Yeah.
comms, right? And good comms can lead you to winning the rounds as well. So that's why you need to have really high level comms. Aim, I wrote good micro adjustments. Your aim is super clean, bro. Like, you know, obviously this is a silver lobby, right? Once you get
Yeah.
to plat diamond, there's a fall off point, right? Where that's why we have to make sure it's keep improving as you build
Yeah.
and add progressive overload, so that way it's you always maintaining that aim, it's never falling off, stuff like that. So you have really good micro adjustments. I wrote decent crosshair placement. I think it's pretty solid. Probably needs a little bit of work, but it's overall really solid, especially at these ranks. Maybe at the higher ranks could be starting to fall off around plat diamond, but just your crosshair placement, not your overall aim. But
Yeah.
yeah, it could we could work on that for sure. And I wrote overall 7 out of 10, 7 to 8 out of 10 shooting mechanics combined with movement in this elo. Okay, once you go higher, it's gonna start falling off, right? So that way we gotta make sure it's
Hmm.
still you're maintaining it or getting it better as you're climbing. So that way you don't fall off as a overall player or overall aim. Okay, the next thing is movement positioning. You know, honestly, I, I feel like you have pretty good peeking mechanics, as in like when to wide swing, when to crouch peek. I didn't see you
Right.
jiggle. There wasn't really much time, but you could probably add a little bit more of a jump peek in your game. I know you tried to jump peek the smoke that first round, but like I think that was just a bad time to do it. Like like that's what neon
Okay.
players do, right? Neon players
Yeah.
do the come out and come and slide back into their side type thing with the smoke. Like you're a jet, you don't really need to do that. You could have just held the smoke there, but we'll get into that. So overall, your peeking mechanics are pretty good. You know what a wide swing is. You know what like a crouch peek is,
Yeah.
right? I saw you do it. You know what a jiggle is. So like I already kind of knew those basics, mechanics, fundamentals. So
Yeah.
we just have to build upon it. I think it's super solid for you know right now, like as it is right now, it's probably like a diamond ascendant level type movement usage. Okay, and then game sense. Okay, your game sense is pretty strong for this rank, but obviously silver, so I can't really. And the game was it was kind of one-sided for a while, and then you guys started losing, but then started coming back. But there needs some
Yeah.
work for sure. Like I can definitely tell it will start falling off probably around like plat. Okay, because what you were doing won't work at the higher levels, right? And You want to
Okay.
be Ascendant Immortal player. I'm gonna be,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be hard on you because you know, that's your goal, and I need to prepare you to be that level slash think on that level. Okay, and to think on that level is building your game sense up. You're not gonna ever play like you did in this game at even a diamond level. You're gonna get stomped. Okay, so just in terms
Okay.
of game sense, not your overall aim mechanics or movement mechanics, but your brain,
Yeah.
like how you're thinking, how you're processing information, um, anticipation, understanding timings, understanding your pathing, your teammates pathing, enemy pathing, stuff like that. That needs a lot of work. Okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so cons. For communication, I literally had no cons, bro, because they're quite high level. Like that's kind of how I would talk in my games too. Maybe a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
specific, a little bit more. Like you would feed your team, but then you kind of go
Right.
quiet. Like you gotta kind of just make sure you're synergizing your team. For example, like there's around you're like, I hear one C, I hear one B, I hear one A. You'd be like, guys, they're default, guys, get ready. We don't need to rotate. Stay put, like stuff like that. I'd be a little bit more on the
Okay.
advanced side, but you're doing the first step really well, which is being detailed and specific, which a lot of people have problems with. Okay, especially in silver. Like I thought your comms were like at least minimum diamond, minimum. Okay, and you'll hear me in the VOD. I'm like, I don't want to glaze this guy, but this guy's like, it's soup. This guy's like the exception to the rule. Like, I don't know why the hell this guy's here. Okay, this guy needs to be climbing as soon as possible. Okay, and I don't want to glaze. It's just I'm very
Yeah.
shocked. Okay, like I'm being serious. All my students under plat so far has never really shown me this type of skill set. Okay, okay, so cons, no cons for comms. Aim will be flicking, tracking. Like your flicking is pretty good, like probably 6 7
Mm-hmm.
out of 10 at this level. At the higher levels it will not bang with the players. Your tracking needs a lot of work where
Yeah.
where you're not, it's not like a fight where wait, am I streaming? Did my stream end? Oh yeah, it did.
No. Oh.
Like my Discord stream, so you can see my POV if you want. So
Oh.
pretty
Yeah. Yeah.
much, you're so good at the fights where it requires you to have crosshair placement or like a little flick or stuff like that. But you're bad at the fights where it's unexpected, where you turn a corner, he's here, and then he starts moving a little bit, and you start, like you're
Yeah.
trying to track him, right? But you're always behind, right? I'd rather you just
Mm-hmm.
flick him and die, or just get a really good track and just spray him down. But you struggle with the tracking more than flicking, but it still both needs a lot of work. Okay, and at the end of the session, I'll show you stuff that will really work on this type of game. Okay, um, so and then I wrote, you are pretty consistent. Like you're pretty much a one tap or two shot burst typing player, but
Yeah.
it's still a little bit more on the inconsistent side. Obviously this is silver. Once you get to plat diamond, it's not gonna bang. Okay, you need to be instantly deleting them no matter what. First shots. Okay, because you have good aim. We just have to get it
Mm-hmm.
consistent. You understand the mechanics. Okay, but you were whiffing, not on attack, not on defense. Sorry, on defense you were one tapping them like crazy, boom, 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 boom. But on attack it struggles a lot, and that's gonna be your main theme today. Is like your attacking needs a lot of work, bro. Your entering, understanding your role, understanding how you need to move, micro adjusting your positioning, stuff like that needs a lot of work on attack. Okay, your defensive rounds are
Mm-hmm.
quite strong. Even there was a lot of mistakes, and I will go through it. Okay, so with that, yeah, that's that. Whiffing his shots on attack too much. That's what I wrote. Movement and positioning can probably use his terrain a little bit better. Not stay out in the open. There's more a little bit more of the defense and the defensive rounds and post plant scenarios, or even sometimes entering. But you can just kind of use your terrain. I'm not gonna go too deep into it because the rounds are there where we will go into it, but you
Right.
just need to kind of hold a tighter angle, or maybe just jiggle for information. But you're just kind of sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of the times you're just relying on your aim. Okay, I had another plat player that was doing
Yeah.
the same thing where he knows, because his aim was also very good. It was very high level aim, and he was relying on his aim too much. But we gotta also, because at the higher levels, you're just standing here. Especially when you're not using dash, you're gonna get instantly traded. Whether you kill one or
Yeah.
you have super sick aim, where you go 1v5, those are rare moments, especially at the higher levels. They happen, but they're super rare. Okay, so don't rely on your aim. We gotta rely on our brain. And I tell all my students, our brain outweighs our game sense, and all the other categories outweigh our aim tenfold. Okay, your aim is capped where all the other skills are. So if your aim is at 8 out of 10, and all the other categories are like 6, 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 2 out of 10, your aim is gonna come down to a 5 out of 10. It gets capped because
Yeah.
killing people isn't just how you shoot and like taking fights. It's about using your brain, predicting where they're gonna go, being proactive, getting ahead of where they're gonna go, sitting in a corner there and then killing three. Like that's the game sense aspect, right? Stuff like that. You see it in pro play, I'm sure. So that's that. We'll go into it in more detail later. I roll as well. Needs to work on retaking skills. Your retaking skills are terrible. Okay, super bad. And it's the same with your entry, and they're correlated. If you're bad at entering, you're gonna be bad at retaking. Even if you focus on just one, if you really focus on retaking and get really good at it, it will improve your entering. And I'm gonna ask you a question. Why do you think that is? And I asked the Immortal
Because in both
guys.
situations,
Yep.
you're entering the site. Like you're trying to get onto the site to retake the site, and when you try to enter the site, you're trying to take the site from the enemy.
Right, kind of. Yeah, you kind of got it. I'll give you a half point. So right, like they're the same spots, right? As an attacker,
Yeah.
if I was taking B, I'd clear this corner, or whatever. Like somewhat same spot. As a retaker, I would clear this corner. Like it's kind of the same concept, but different type of way of doing it. As in the entry is entering as a team is taking the defender space, right? We smoke this off. We smoke this off. We make sure all the corners are clear before we go in, or as we're going in, so it's safe for us, right? And on defense, it's about that's why they call it retaking, is retaking the space that we lost, right? They're on the site that they've gotten or we've given up, and then we have to make sure these corners are clear as well, these common angles. The angles might be a little bit different, but the concept is the same, where we need to clear and make sure the site is safe / start deducting them where they are to kill them, to plant the bomb. It's a slightly different but still the same type of mental team concept, where we need to work together to clear these angles to take the space, whether it's getting onto the space or taking it back. Okay, so it needs a lot of both of those for you. Need a lot of work. It's okay. I'm gonna really teach you. Try to be thorough. Okay, and the next thing is, I would like you to kind of slice the pie a little bit more. Do you know what that mechanic fundamental is?
I think so.
It's like, you're not just wide swinging everything like this, right? The higher level players will actively kind of just make sure,
Yeah.
like that, like on any angle,
And
like
just
even if I'm entering here,
isolate the angles.
right?
And keep
Exactly,
one by
because
one.
there's a little bit of an advantage here, where if they're standing still and you slice the pie well, you're gonna see them
Here.
first, and a lot of the times that's what happens. You'll just have your crosshair head level, slice the pie, they're standing still, and you instantly delete them, just because of the peeker's advantage as well, how latency works, ping, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just how the game overall, the information is traveled. This game sucks. Okay, but Counter Strike's not as much. Like you don't slice a pie. Counter Strike's more swinging and stuff like that. But because there's more strafing as well. But anyways, yeah. So I would like you to slice the pie a little bit more. Okay. Also, I wrote, you're just too hasty. Right? You're moving around too much when you don't need to be. You're running too much when you don't need to be. Okay, at the higher levels, and I'm gonna ask you another question, which is super important. Especially on defense. Okay, you're kind of doing it on defense a lot. Attacking is not so much a problem, but okay. Why is it bad to run around on defense? Like especially near sites or possible like mains where they can hear you up close. What's the problem with it? Why should we not run?
They know when and where you're rotating to and how many.
Perfect. So you answered it perfectly. It's information, right? They gain information, okay? On the defense, when you get to maybe diamond and stuff, even though they know they're going to say, they're not just going to automatically run. They'll start running when they're saying, hey, they're coming out. There's 4 here. Different story. We can kind of deduct they're coming out. There's not really going to be much.
Right.
But even then, at the higher levels, when they say that and a guy's mid, this guy will automatically still hold this and just start walking away because he assumes someone's mid. In this game, people love lurking. Okay, in the beginning of the game when it came out, no one lurked, but over time people understand that lurking is super crucial and it's super strong. It's easy way to get kills. You can timing people, right? You can get behind enemy lines without them knowing where you are, stuff like that. So at the higher levels, they're going to start holding and start walking off slowly, even if they see it, right? Retake, guys, retake. You might even jiggle it for a few seconds while his team is here getting ready for retake. They're like, all right. They're in, they're planning, and then I start rotating, right? And people will still look behind them just in case of that timing, right? So stuff like that.
Yeah.
You really need to just stop running around. You're just running around, like like that one round where you came from C down to A, you're dead there.
Yeah.
In a high level, like that ISO is just bad. Like he heard you running across and didn't, or it was a
He
Reyna.
scared me.
It was like it was ISO and Reyna. They both did it. Like where they could not kill you. You killed them obviously because you have better aim, but at a higher level you're instantly dead. They wouldn't even let you cross. You probably die somewhere here coming out. They'd probably be already waiting for you or holding that point of attack or rotation. Okay, so that's that. You just need to just be patient with it a little bit. Like, I understand they're, at the lower levels, once they see something, they just start running instantly. That's a common thing.
Mhm.
They just go, oh, they're all C, and then they're not C anymore. They start rotating. They have A for free. There's a lurker up, right? Because the guy heard all you guys run, so he's like, oh, yo, come back A. They're all going C, right? It's a very common sense thing. They're not gonna take a high risk approach where they're like, yo, there's 4 there, but let's go, right? They're gonna be like, yo, there's 4 rotated C, let's go A. The risk of us getting a free site, setting up, post plant, winning the round, it increases the chances, stuff like that. Okay. And it's in the rounds later down. I'll go more into detail into it later. Okay, so the last thing is for movement positioning was would like him to understand scaling better. This is more of an attacking role thing. You really need to go in first. Okay, I explained to my students. There's an arrow, feathers, and a point, right? Feathers help the arrow spin, trajectory, whatever speed, whatever it may be. The wood is kind of sports both of them, but as a duelist, you're the point. Okay, you're the point of attack. Your Reyna was doing most of the heavy lifting on attack in terms of his job. Okay, his production. You were kind of baiting super hard. I'm gonna be honest. You were baiting pretty hard. Like they would go, hey, you guys would start like 3 guys in front of you. You come rubble. Like they kind of cleared this already. If they're running out, no one's dead. Like it's pretty clear, especially at these levels. Higher levels, they might wait,
Okay.
be patient, kill 3, but you kind of coming like your pathing is coming this way while they're going up here. They clean the box. They're like past the box, ready to go. You're like over here still, right? Like you're not actively clearing corners, as in like trying to find if he's there or not, being with your team.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go into that more detail. But yeah, you just need to understand this concept a little bit more, which I'm gonna tell you, all my duelist students, especially the guy from yesterday, if you watch the VOD, he's on Mortal 1 peak. Still had the same problem, and this is the common theme. I understand. I've started to figure out with like just overall players that don't work on this concept is they don't understand what it is, what a duelist is supposed to do. They just think a duelist is supposed to get kills, but that's completely wrong. Okay, people think a duelist is a selfish role. A duelist role, an entry's role, is a selfless role where he's sacrificing himself for the team to make sure it's clear and safe for them to come in. That's why it's called entering, right? You go in first.
Yeah.
You're the first one to breach them and make sure it's clear for your team. So it's a selfless role. You're gonna die a lot, but when you do it properly, you're gonna kill them a lot as well. A good duelist stays alive as he enters because he understands these common spots, common angles, entering angles, places where they're gonna hold him from, where the enemy's pathing will come from, stuff, retake angles, retake points, stuff like that. We'll get into that later.
Mhm.
Utility usage. Could use his ult right away or as soon as possible. Self-explanatory. You had your ult round 3 and you didn't ult all game, and you had it also on defense. Well, we won't go too much into it because it's down the line in the round specific, but you kind of understand that, right? Like we gotta use our ult.
Yeah.
Bro. You got sick aim. If anything, you should be using your ult because Jet Knives is one of the most broken pieces of like maybe one of the broken ults in the game. It's a what is it called?
Hit scan.
Hit scan, yeah, hit scan. Like instantly where you shoot, no recoil. You can hold it down. You don't even need a one tap. Like it's so fast, instant. You can be jumping, stuff like that. It's super broken. Use it, dash, right, whatever. Right click can auto kill up close. Like it's super broken. So we gotta use it, especially because you have good aim. You would be acing everybody if you had this. If you're using it, okay. Need to use it right away, especially if he's got good aim. I wrote not queuing dash enough, so you did it twice. I'm pretty sure. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, maybe 3 or 4 times, but I'm pretty sure it was only 2 times that whole game. Okay, and you still wouldn't use it. You would dash, and then you're just taking fights and going in, and it would just expire. You're not using this crucial piece of utility. So that's that. I will get into it later. It's in the rounds. And again, I just had to write. It's been 10 rounds, still no ult. You held on to it for way too long.
Yeah.
All right. Last section, game sense. There's one round where you push the smoke gun first. It was on attack. AFK brain. You can't just go like this. I explained it to Simba as well.
Yeah.
When you're
As soon
here,
as it happened, I remember the
Right.
how to enter a smoke.
Yeah, and when you're right there where you see my POV, you're dead. Like you can't see shit, and
Yeah.
he sees you, so you're dead. So you obviously saw the thing. I'm not gonna go too crazy into it. Shoulder first and look, and then adjust, and you kind of know where he's gonna go be, right? Wherever the spot is, the common angle. So even if he's here, you wouldn't just peek like this, okay? You would probably come out like this, like that, okay?
Yeah.
That's just small, but okay. Also, I wrote needs more patient and entering angles, as in you're just running it down. Like they just start running down, you start running down. You can just be patient. You can lead them to be patient too. Guys, just wait. We gotta kill. Let's kind of figure out what's going on. They probably rotating here, stuff like that. This kind of ties in with
Yeah.
everything: movement, positioning, game sense, communications, uh, stuff like that. Even maybe aim, but probably not. But so we gotta be really, really patient with our entering angles. Okay, or entering as a concept. We got to just be a little bit more patient, identify the situation, kind of gather the information, look at the board. The board I call is the mini map. Just just read the board, see figure out what's going on because. Okay, obviously in these lobbies it's gonna work. This type of style of play is gonna work until probably plat, but after that it just starts going down the hole where people know how to adjust. They know tendencies, they know patterns, they know you know their intuition's telling them this. Okay, this guy like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So people their skill sets are much higher. You cannot use this anymore at that level. Okay. Last thing is they are running it down on 4 duelists. Needs to set stuff up. So this is kind of the same point. Like there's 4 duelists. You need to identify. This is comes into game sense. It's like there's 4 duelists. I don't remember if they had a sentinel. I'm pretty sure they didn't. They had a smokes and 4 duelists. Like you gotta just play it slow because if they have 4 duelists, they're willing to take fights. They're willing to trade you guys, right?
Yeah.
So you need to identify, guys. They don't have a sentinel. We can just run one fake and they're fucked. We're gonna start A.
Yeah.
Three of them come and then we go C. There's a free site. There's nothing to stop us. You can just dash out, whatever, etc., etc. That'll be in the rounds, in the specific rounds down below. Okay, so that's that
Mhm.
for all the general, and then let's get into it. I know I was yapping a little bit, but just need to generalize a little bit so you get a idea. All right, round one starts on A. They start a lot A main. Team trades out. You're on defense first. Right? Yeah, you're on defense first. I don't think he needs to jump peek the smoke. So right here, we won't go too crazy into it. There's the smoke, the clove smoked, and you did that crazy neon smoke, neon
Yeah.
jumping. Don't do that. Just hold. Higher levels, you're dead because. What do you think the attacking team is when they trade 3 of your team out, or like 2? It's like 3v3, and they're over here in this general area. What are they really gonna be looking at?
They see me jump out the smoke like a weird man, and they just spray it.
Right, or
They
they're
just
they're just
spam the
gonna they're
smoke.
just gonna be holding this smoke. They're gonna be
Yeah.
walking up because they didn't open tree. They were just waiting. So that means one guy's looking flank, and they're generally looking over here to see what's up, or clearing here, or ready to go tree. Okay, so just I would advise against it, especially at the higher levels. You're instantly dead. Okay, obviously you're gonna there are times you're gonna get away, but I'm generalizing. Like most of the time, you're probably dead here if you do that. Okay?
Yeah.
Unless like you got a sick play, like they're all going tree, and you just wanted to get some info or whatever. But that's a different story.
Hmm.
Round two starts C. Enemy is going A. Identifies they're going A. He starts taking space. Doesn't clear corners. Gets good shot. Kills Reyna mid behind him. Then wins a 1v2 on site. So you started C. This was the round where the Reyna whiffed on you. So you were going boom,
Yep.
boom, boom. But you're going through the motions of flanking slash taking space. You gotta actively clear these things. Okay, even this box. Even if you're running, you gotta make sure because people, you know, at these levels you're not going to experience it, so it's hard for you to maybe understand. But at the higher levels, as in diamond, ascendant, low immortal, okay, they're gonna be places where you least expect it, so you gotta be vigilant. And that's why I tell my students, you gotta clear your corners no matter what. Even if you believe he's not there, just clear it. People are so good at positioning, micro adjusting. You see him here, and then you kind of have to come back because you're fighting. You kill the guy, and the guy's ending up over here somehow, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck? I
Yeah.
thought I saw a main." That happens in my lobbies I see it all the time where they do such sick movements where right, like the micro adjustments are so crispy. People know how to reposition. They know how to be in unexpected spots and stuff like that. Okay, so actively clear these corners, and that will also lead into entering as well. If you're good at clearing corners and off angles, common spots, it's gonna be a habit where it gets incorporated incorporated into your entering abilities, where you understand that okay, he's most people like to play here. I gotta clear. Okay, it's clear. I go to the next one. Boom, 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 and you clear the whole site. You become efficient. You become fast. Stuff like that. So you're just
Mhm.
kind of going through the motion. You're just walking around. Like do 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 do. Like you didn't even clear this corner. You're just like they're going A, so you're just like this, and then you heard him, so you came back, but he even whiffed at you. You're probably dead at the higher levels, but um, that's not the point. It's just clear these corners. Even when I flank
Yeah.
here, I always clear this. I kind of jiggle it. I make sure I clear this as well, and I'll sometimes I'll spam this box too, because people higher level people know that that's more common. This is a very uncommon spot, so they'll be like here waiting, listening, stuff like that. So sometimes I'll even spam that, but clear this, hold this for a little bit, and then you know don't once you hold this, okay, don't just
Mhm.
start running because you're like, oh, it's clear. You gotta clear everything. People play off angles, right? And at this levels, and maybe you've never experienced many off angles, but once you get to plat diamond, that's where off angles are happening, where people are in fucked up angles where you just don't expect it because you didn't clear everything properly. But this comes into the being vigilant. Okay, I've cleared this. I understand this whole section is clear. I spam this. This whole section is clear. I'm gonna run A. I'm still gonna be vigilant. I'm gonna make sure he's not gonna have that running off angle where he instantly deletes me. Okay, stuff like that. Okay, my team's on A post plan scenario. I'm still gonna clear rubble. I'm not gonna AFK and run around because maybe they broke the breakable doors broken and this guy just
Mhm.
repositioned ready to go trade. And he started hearing you run, so he's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna kill this guy. Okay, stuff like that. So we gotta actively clear every single corner. Okay, especially if we don't have any information of what went on around that general area. Okay,
Yeah.
whether it's attack or defense, you must do it on every single corner. Okay, obviously I'm not saying clear your corners when your team's like, yo, there's 5A or 4A. Okay,
Yeah.
we can deduct that they're all there. When he's like, yo, there's 2. Okay, that's a different story. There's likely people mid lurking, holding different angles, off angles, anticipating where you're gonna rotate, pushing up, timing you, stuff like that. Okay, so that's that. Uh, yeah. So and then you killed him. You killed him mid. I don't know why I'm running around, but you killed him mid. That was great. And then you got here, and it was a 1v2 scenario. I almost thought you were. I just thought you were gonna lose it because it's, the higher levels. This would be a very hard clutch. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's hard
Right.
because just of how the site is. Like they can just play off each other. One guy's gonna be here. One guy might be here. So when you kill this guy, the guy in tree just instantly peeks you. You're dead, right? And
Mhm.
this might be a concept that's not in the lower ranks or you've seen, but at the mid higher levels, they say let's play off each other. I'm picking off
Yeah.
you, right? You've probably heard that where they're in a spot where the second guy is picking off the first guy. The first guy takes the first contact, whether it's here or heaven, wherever it may be. It doesn't matter. It's the second guy's gonna hide and just instantly delete you when you're fighting this guy because he's peeking off you. Any sound, any fight, he's just instantly peeking and helping his team. So we gotta kind of incorporate that into our game as well. So, but the clutch was very, very good. You got a kill here, the clove, and then you killed the ISO. Okay, it was really great. It was a good round, super, and you had really good mid-fight mechanics as you did like a little crouch. You weren't just wide swinging where he's gonna have headshot level.
Right.
It was a good little throw him off type thing, and that's a high level skill set. Okay, even some immortal players don't have that mid-fighting skill set. Okay, so I identified that that's your strength. Okay, and you need to keep working on it and don't let it fall off. Don't let it get to you. As in, you think you're the best player now, but just
Right.
use that to your advantage. You're so good at fighting. Okay, we gotta use all these other aspects where and you do. I'm not saying you don't, but just heighten it up more, refine it more, make it,
Mhm.
keep improving it, because you like you said, you're like, I don't think I can get to immortal in 10 months, bro. At this point, like from what I seen, and before that, I was like, maybe you can't. How much? But from what I see now, bro, you can
Mhm.
get to immortal in probably 3 months from playing a lot, actively being critical, thinking well, improving your game sense, and all these other categories. Okay, it's not your aim that's the problem.
Okay.
This is a really, really good clutch, 1v2. Okay. Um, okay, round 3 starts B, clears mid. And it was like a soft clear. It wasn't a hard clear, as in you came out here and kind of cleared all these corners. It was a soft clear. You just peeked, kind of saw, okay, no one's really here, which is fine. I do that too. It's always, you don't always have to hard clear that. But, if you got to understand tendencies too. If the guys are lurking super hard, you must hard clear
Yeah.
slash sit here, right? You understand that because the chances of him walking down are super high. So you wouldn't just soft clear or just, just start running off. You would soft clear it and then just sit forever. because you know this guy's
Mhm.
tendency or pattern to lurk is super high. So yeah, but that's off the point. But so starts B mid, clears it, soft clear, kind of understands not coming, good comms and detailed. You just said you just I can't remember, I sure wrote down what you said, but you're like, you know, one here, whatever. It was super detailed, good. This is more of a pro round, like your pros. And then I wrote really good shots, clean headshots. I can't remember where the shots were. You can just refer back to the VOD. This is not as
Yep.
important, right? You just had really nice shots. Good round. That was an overall just good round. Round four starts A, gets ISO ulted. Remember this round where he ulted you here? Your team was like kind of trading and then
Yeah.
you got ulted around here, and then it's not that big of a round. I just wrote, you know, played it around like a 5-6 in the ult. You kind of just instantly swung him, and that's what he was expecting. Okay, and he
Yeah.
instantly crouch peeked you, crouch fought you too. So you need to
Mhm.
kind of stay on your feet and have your head on a swivel, where you know don't just instantly just swing like this, but kind of just wait, be patient, even let the walls down because let's think about it this way: your aim is so good, right? Against
Mhm.
these guys, maybe not the higher levels. These guys, you're gonna win those. Okay, so just let the wall down. He's gonna instantly panic, crouch, and you just instantly move because your mid fighting is mechanics are so good. You're gonna be able to identify that. Boom, he crouched. Boom, move. He's gonna be spraying you. Move one to the right, one to the
Yeah.
left. Instantly delete. That guy will lose that fight. But why you lost that fight was you kind of just swung into him. He was kind of holding that. It was a little bit unlucky. He was holding that one side, and then you swung, and he heard you in the water, and then he killed you. Okay, and he was crouched too. But if you just kind of waited, be patient, maybe even what a lot of people do is when they get ISO ulted, they'll instantly swing middle like a jiggle swing with the classic to break the shield,
Yeah.
and then they'll take out their gun and get ready to
Oh.
fight. Let the wall go down. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
really do that,
smart.
but a lot of people do that because I play a lot of ISO, so that's what they do to me at the higher levels. Where I'm because me, I don't make noise when I ult somebody. I
Mhm.
instantly take my knife out and go to one of the walls to try to see what's going on. I try to see if they're gonna run out, stuff like that, or which side they're
Yeah.
going, right? Because it's more of a mental game at the higher levels. It's not just run out and shoot them because I give away my positioning. Everyone's at cross head level at that rank. So even if I had the advantage, he could just flick me and kill me instantly, and that happens a lot to me as well. Even if I have my shield on, okay, that's how good people's aim are. They can still win an ISO even if he has shield at the higher levels. So yeah, just you know, use your aim and your mid fighting mechanics to your advantage. Okay, let you kind of fought him on his grounds, fight it on yours.
Yeah.
Okay, round five starts A. Probably should just use knives instead of eco. So this is the round I asked you to see if they're ecoing. I just wrote down the eco because we're gonna assume that they did. Their money was super high. So and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I think we and I kind of agree. We could, if we're wrong, we can refer back to the VOD. That's why
Mhm.
we did that. But bro, again, this is ground level right now, okay? Just use it. Just get rid of it. Even if you die with it, okay? There's multiple benefits of using your ult. It saves economy. You don't need to have a rifle anymore. Don't use this if you have a rifle, obviously. But
Right.
even if your team, like let's say the round ended, it's a new round, and your team's gonna buy, just throw them the gun. Yo, take my gun, and then use your knife. Okay, that's what a lot of the high level players do. And then ask for
Need a
a
drop.
sheriff or a stinger. It saves your team's economy, and it's just more efficient. Use this piece of utility because this is a rifle in a way. It's a resetting rifle,
My
right?
this.
You get a kill, it resets into 5 bullets. So, and you don't really need 5 bullets to kill somebody. You need one. You need one to or two maybe if you would to really headshot somebody, stuff like that. Okay, so we gotta use her. I can't emphasize this enough. As a jet player,
My
you know, as an ISO player, you know, you're not gonna not use your ISO ults. It's super broken. Goes through
Right.
walls. Okay, you're gonna have to
My
get to using this. There are times where you know, you're a jet. You're gonna have to learn how to op. You know, there's no such thing as a jet that doesn't op. Okay, you need to learn how to start opping. If you don't, and if you do, there are gonna be a lot of times where you know you're holding an angle with your op, and then they're full executing speed. They're like, yo, they're coming out, and you know, there's a lot of times you're not gonna take fights with ops. You're gonna have to you're gonna have your knives ready or whatever it may be. But
Yeah.
it's like a backup rifle, right? Where it's a
Yeah.
mobile rifle. So and you're super fast, right? This is knife speed, so you know even peeking things are much faster than someone peeking with a gun, stuff like that. Okay, not a big round split, but just gotta emphasize on the utility usage because it's your bottom two skill set.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wrote probably should just use knives against eco to reset ult, as in just you know you're so good with aim that you're gonna get ult so fast, right? You're just capping your ult how many times you can see it at least. you had it twice. You loaded it up twice, right? On one on each
Yeah.
side, you never use it. So you got to keep loading it up, and keep loading it up means getting kills and frags and stuff like that for your team where you're gonna win. And a lot of the times in my games and in pro games too, let's say the jet is on the eco, whether attack defense doesn't matter. The guy will have knives and just kill 3 people on eco. Like his team's on eco and just
Yeah.
kill 3 people. His team picks up 3 rifles for free just because he has sick aim with the knives, right? So we kind of have to think about it like that too. It's like a tool to help us pick up more guns on eco, not on rifle rounds, but on eco. If I use it on
Right.
eco, stuff like that. Okay, the playing field with a rifle with this is, I actually think this has an advantage over a rifle. Okay, so we gotta think about it like that. This is super broken. Okay, next thing is, oh, and then I just wrote to reset all, enemy running down A, they are 4 stacked, gets first kill, whiffs a little bit. So you got the first kill, and then you kind of just whiffed your first shots a little bit. Not that big.
Yeah.
It was like a little bit of a tracking, flicking, whiffing recoil issue. Round 6 starts A, they go B, could just breakable and go that way. So I remember this round. Okay, you started A, and your pathing, your common pathing when they go B or C is always spawn. Okay, you could just break this. Okay, it reduces the time of travel. Okay, because you're just going right through spawn. Obviously, you need to clear corners if this isn't held, like nobody was there. You guys left it open for
Right.
more than 10, 20 seconds, whatever. Just kind of wait. You could even shift walk if they're not even out yet. You just make sure you're being proactive. Like you rotate it through here like this, and then they're like, oh, they're not out anymore. Okay, you're obviously not going to continue to go see if they say
Right.
they're not out. You're gonna just hold down B. That way, maybe they're rotating off, and then you just hold this space, right? Taking space is super important. It's information. Gaining information is understanding the macro lens of what the enemy team's doing, and then when you do that, it sets your team up for a higher chance of winning rounds. It's like map hacking, right? If I know where 5 of them are, it's like, bro, like, obviously there are times
Yeah.
you lose too, where they have sick aim or whatever, you misplay it, but it's like map hacking. Okay, it's like, okay, they're here. Like if I have the space, they can really, and my team has this space. They can really only be going through spawn here, or they could have already lurked up, right? We can just start deducting it like that, but you kind of get what I mean. You don't need to just run spawn every time. You could have even anchored, okay, or just sit here forever, okay, because your team kind of had it or whatever. If they tell you to start coming, start going. But just go through this breakable. Breaking this isn't a bad thing. People think it's bad. It's super good for both sides. There's pros and cons for both sides, obviously, but it's quite good.
Right.
So it's a little bit of map knowledge here, where you just break this and go like this, and you're automatically in C in like 7 seconds instead of like a 12-second thing, because you're here, and then you're just like shoo, and then you're like, you went the
Yeah.
long way too. It's not like you went through B to C link. You went this way, so that's gonna be about a 12-second rotation, or even longer, maybe 15, right? Um, so that's that. So the next one was, where are we? So round 7, they start fighting A main. Needs to find better positioning instead of staying out in the open. I kind of touched on it in the general notes. Like, you took a fight out here. You'll see it in the VOD. You were around this general area. I'm not being specific, like super specific, but you
Yeah.
were in this area. Like whether it was here, here. I'm pretty sure you were like in this area. They were like fighting, trading, and you're just here. And I can't remember if you died, or I'm pretty sure you died. I losing the round doesn't matter, winning the round doesn't matter. That's not important. It's more so
Right.
your sequence. Like, you're out in the open, right? You can kind of, you're a smart dude. I can tell you're a smart guy.
Yeah.
Okay? You know what's the problem with this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can pull it off.
Especially if I
Maybe.
don't have dash prep, there is
Exactly.
no cover
Right?
for me.
So that's where we can kind of combine both of them. This is a movement positioning, map awareness thing, and also utility usage, right? So you
Mhm.
understand the problem with this. You're just out in the open. Yes, I can understand you got sick aim. It's also a little bit of, you're relying on your aim too much, as in know that you can instantly delete people. So especially in this rank, so you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna ego. Like, this is kind of like an ego
Yeah.
hold, right? But you're never ever ever gonna see this in high ascendant and immortal. Okay, obviously maybe if it's queued up, he's got an op, chamber,
Mhm.
TP, Reyna maybe, right? But even then, like, most people generally are playing these tight ass angles, and I even said it in the VOD. I'm like, bro, you could have just sat here in stairs. It's the same angle. It's like, you could have just been here. It's kind of better, but why it's better is because even if I try to aim at you, and at this level they're gonna whiff at you a lot, you can just automatically take cover. And let's say they do start hitting you, there's wallbang damage. You're gonna take reduced damage. So reduced damage means
Right.
you're likely to stay alive longer and do more, be more productive, right? So it's super complicated, but it's all of this kind of adds up, right? In the micro sense, macro sense, it just all leads up together. So, this, obviously it's one game as well. Like I'm sure you don't do this all the time, but
Yeah.
it was kind of a general a theme. Like it happened quite often, right? You're relying on your
Yeah.
aim too much. I told my player, like stop relying on your aim. Use your brain more, and you're a really smart dude. I can tell. So, hold this tight angle. Okay, hold an off angle with your dash. Okay, that's a different story. If you've queued your dash, I don't care if you're out in the open. Do it. It's fine because you know you
Right.
can get away. Okay, you're not obviously not gonna let it expire and stay out here,
Yeah.
but you're gonna use it. Okay, like you hold it. Nobody's coming out. Okay, even if you hear them and they're not peeking you, don't stop here. Just you gotta use it. You gotta get away. You can even go use it going backwards. Like, oh, okay, they're I hear three here. They're not really coming out. It's about to fire. Just go backwards or like
Here.
to here and take cover, whatever, or
Here.
even go to here or
Yeah.
whatever it may be. Okay, so and it's a little bit of a map awareness stuff, like map knowledge. Like just use your surroundings around you. I keep telling my students, especially in these levels, use your surroundings around you. It's a benefit to you. You get reduced damage, okay, and stuff like that. Sometimes a lot of the times you'll get an angle advantage too because Valorant maps are quite boxy, right? Squarish.
Mhm.
All the corners and angles are you need to hard clear them. It's not like Counter-Strike where
Yeah.
even if I kind of look here, like it's rounded, I can see you or whatever. Like kind of the terrain is like it'll be broken up. It's more realistic, right? Like you know what I mean? Like this, you need to hard clear even though it's a box. Like it's stupid as fuck. Like if you sit here, you still can't see him if you go out here. Like you gotta come all the way. So
Yeah.
just use your terrain to your advantage. A lot of the times when you do that, you'll find angle advantages for yourself that will lead to more kills, more production, being a better player, being more consistent. Okay, so that's that. Where are we? We are on round. Yep. So round 8, he starts A. You started A, KO knife. This one's gonna be really specific because it's more ties into your game sense and understanding map awareness, positioning, being proactive, anticipation. So he starts A. He threw a knife somewhere in this general direction. There was nobody there, so no one was revealed. And then I think you were here,
Here.
around here. You were around here. I'm pretty sure. You can watch the VOD, but
Mhm.
and then you heard 5 running down B main. Remember that round? Or not 5, but at least
Yeah.
minimum. Like I was hearing too. Minimum 3. It sounded like 5 though. Like 4 at least. At least.
Yeah.
Okay. So you heard them. What did I write here? Needs to go through. Yeah. So you were here and you heard them running through B main. Needs to go through breakable, goes through spawn and just runs down into a smoke on site gun first. So that's kind of a little bit about. So you went this
Yeah.
way. You'll see it in the VOD. It's quite funny. The close smoke was here, and then you just went like this. The guy was sitting here with like a shorty or something, and he just deleted you. Right? Remember that round? It was it's pretty
Yeah.
jokes, right? Like, but the first mistake is just. I can't remember if you told them they're all there, but I think you did.
Yeah,
because your comms are quite good. I'm gonna give you the benefit of
I
the doubt.
remember the round.
I'm pretty sure you told them, yo, guys, a lot running down B. So that was good. But the first mistake is you took the 20-second route instead of the 5,
Yeah.
the 3-second. This is like a 2-second route. Break this, you're already here, ready to kill these guys. Instantly deletion.
Yeah.
Right? You took a 20-second route. Okay, maybe not 20, over exaggerating, but like at least a 15-second, 10-second round minimum. Okay, and then you just started, and then the second mistake here is you just started running AFK, no brain, like just not even clearing this because at the higher levels, once they entry, they're not just gonna be here on this line, like
Yeah,
the guy
gotta
planning
be,
and main. Okay,
like,
they're gonna
here,
be pushed the fuck up
here.
because you understand it
Yeah.
too. You did it. You did it on entry where you sat here, remember, and you killed a clove or whatever. Like
Yep.
you need to just think about it on the opposite way. Like what you like to do, enemies will do it, or even better. Okay, so if you like to push up here, they're gonna do it. If you like to push up there, they're gonna do it, and they're gonna do it better. As in, they're gonna be there much quicker because they've scaled the site so efficiently where it gives them that extra time to set up and catch people off guard. Right? That's what good
Yeah.
players do. That's what rating players do. Where they're so efficient, where the timings are just so crazy. Like people will just lose their mind. How the fuck is this guy here? Right? But it's just he's so efficient. His movement, his pathing is just so beautiful, so crispy that he's able to do that. But anyways, the second mistake is obviously just running down, not clearing your corners, actively retaking. Here, once you get here, you gotta tell your team and lead your team. Guys, we ready? Guys, don't run in. Don't run in. Wait, like even if you see their body language, their intention on the minimap looks like they're gonna run in, or the Reyna's like you can see their them through the walls. You know, the team map pack. where
Yeah.
You can just kind of see
Yeah.
them. So let's say you're running and you see this guy like about to throw a smoke, like has a smoke in his hand or like a flash in his hand. Be like, yo, just wait, get ready for everybody, guys. Wait, retake, ready, and then you call for smokes. Can you smoke main? You guys ready? Okay, and then somebody usually will, especially at the higher levels, will call that they're like to go, or it will be even you
Mhm.
if you want to, but they'll be like, all right. Or it's usually the controller or like the guys that with the crucial piece of utility like flashes, right? Because they're the ones that
Right.
like the initiators are gonna initiate that contact for you because they're the ones that have to use it. They need to be ready, not you. So they'll be like, all right, I'm gonna flash you. Ready? Go. And then they start flashing. Guys, retake. And then obviously you guys start murdering them or whatever it may be, right? But you didn't really do that, which is fine. Your concept of retaking is weak, and that's fine. We're gonna work on that. But you just didn't clear corners, not really being proactive, as in people not being here. You're not expecting anything because people don't do it to you, obviously. But I'm trying to help you be ready for when they do. You gotta be vigilant,
Right.
because they're gonna be here. They're gonna be there. They're gonna be in Link already rapping and killing your team or whatever it may be. So don't just mindlessly run down and just push the smoke gun first. And then the third problem, you obviously know what it is going in gun first. Okay, gotta. I don't mind the play if you just cleared everything, but the problem is you didn't clear it and then you just did it. Just
Yeah.
right. You could even come to the edge and do it this way. You don't have to always go from left to this way, but you can switch it up or whatever. If you predict he's here, you hear him here, whatever it may be. But those are the 3 mistakes in the round. Not that crazy, but they're quite important, as in understanding map knowledge, retake concepts, setting up your team, being a leader. Like it goes into so much. Just this one round, right? So that's that. Round 9 starts A, gets a really nice kill with nice little wide swing crouch peek and identifies they're rotating. Makes a very good specific comm that they are going C. Wins a really nice 1v2. Really nice movement. So you started A. I cannot remember where you killed the first guy. That's not as important. It was just this is more of a pro. Like you just did a really nice crouch peek. That was super sick. Like when I saw it, I was like, okay, this guy's trolling me. This guy is like, no, I'm not even joking. You hear the VOD, you'll see my face. I'm like, what the fuck? Like round 5 or 6, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, one of these fights on defense. I was like, bro, like what the hell? This guy's lying to me or something. Like he's trolling. It must be like a content video where he's pretending to be Silver.
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of what I thought. So. But overall, that was super solid. Like crouch peek, and it was it wasn't like a jiggle, like a jiggle crouch peek. It was a wide swing crouch peek. That's like a super advanced, because crouch peeks are just close, right? Like this.
Right.
But you did a wide one. I was like, what the fuck? Like I've never seen a silver player do that in my life. Okay, I don't even think I did that until I was like Ascendant 3. Okay, I never really incorporated that into my game until much later. It's very crouch peeking is very good for clearing off angles where they have the super mega advantage, like here, like those
Right.
tight corners, and then you're just gonna throw them off because they're head level, and you just boom, instantly deletion because you have good aim and good mechanics. Okay, but yeah, so you did a very good wide swing crouch peek, love it. Identify they were going C, you're very aware there. Whatever the information on the board or your teammate telling you, and then you gave specific comms. They're going to C, even though you're not the C player, okay? And this is something I really admire about your games. This is something I do as well in my game. Even though I'm not the C player, I'm feeding those guys on C with the information they're seeing, because a lot of times it's hectic for them. They're throwing out smokes to get rid, or the utility, or they're spraying the smoke. They hear 3 people. You're and that's a good trait. That's a high level trait. Being like, guys, there's 3 C main, right? You're actively making sure your whole team is on the same page, and I really admire that part of your game. Okay, that's a super high level way of thinking. Okay, I'm telling you right now, almost every student I had below plat, not even don't even think about that. Okay, they only calm or try to give info of things around them, as if they start B and they hear one, okay, 1B, and then they just never ever talk again. And then even if they see 3 on A, they're like, until his team tells him 3 on A, he starts moving, or even if they see him, he'll be like 1A, and then he'll just insta rotate, right? He doesn't think about anything else. But yeah, so you have the potential to being really good. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not even glazing. This is me being super brutally honest. Okay, you really shocked me. You really surprised me. Okay, and then you win 1v2. Like when I watched this fight, I'm like, okay, and I probably said it on the stream because I remember one round I was like, okay, let me see if you can win this, and you won it, right? You killed the guy here.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what happened. It doesn't really matter, but super good mid fight mechanics as well. It wasn't like you're just wide swinging into both of them. You're actively isolating them. Boom, boom, kill this guy, and then whatever. Maybe you're adding your little crouch movement there, which I really love. Um, so that's that. And then yeah, so you won the 1v2. Okay. Round 10 starts B. He takes space with Clove. Kind of whiffs on ISO. Team dies on A. So I remember this round. You guys both walked up here. And then you guys were walking like this. And you heard the ISO come from C. You guys both turned. You just whiffed horribly. And then obviously
Yeah.
he somehow I didn't see. But I remember the C guy killed him. I'm like, what the fuck? The guy flanked so fast. Like your teammate just came out so fast. The KO killed actually the ISO here. He came out through. I was like, what the fuck? So then you guys both start going this way. KO started going through B, through like Heavens or like Link, Breakable maybe. I can't remember exactly. Doesn't really matter. And then I wrote, kind of whiffs on ISO. Team dies on A. They flank 3v3. Good jiggle peek for info sight. And then you guys won the round where you kind of didn't just swing because they planted the bomb. You jiggled it, and then you saw, and then Clove used that as well because he sees the question mark and he just swung and killed him, right? So that helped your team. One thing I'll say with this round though is that I can't remember exactly, but you need to just actively, it's just a reminder. Just act, whether you did it or not. I can't remember. We can watch the VOD, but just remember to actively clear every single corner. Okay, even this corner. Okay, because I'm gonna assume you probably just walked out with your Clove. Okay, just even.
Yeah, I did not clear this,
Right,
and I don't think I cleared this
Right,
either.
so thank you for being honest. Just clear everything as you go. And obviously you heard the ISO come back. Even clear this corner, right? Okay, and then clear this corner as well. There's a lot of off angles on this map. Look at these angles. They're all 90 degrees.
Yeah.
They're hard fucking corners, bro. Like this map is one of the most annoying corners as in if you have good positioning in a really fucked up situation, you're gonna win a lot of the time, right? Because they have to run at you or, kind of like be on pre-aim and get ready to kill you. So stuff like that. So that's that. Nothing crazy there. Round 11 starts B, gives good comms. 1C on A needs to identify their default. Take space or anchor. Okay, so you're B here, and I remember this round you called it out. You're like 1C, 1 Rubble, 1A. Okay, this is where the game sense aspect starts coming in after you work on all your basics. Okay, and stuff like that. We need to identify that this is a default. It is not a rush, okay? Especially because you don't hear anything be main, okay? And when usually I see stuff like that where it's like 1-1 like this or like C-A or even like a B-C,
Right.
I automatically assume the 3 players are together on the other side or it's like maybe one guy spawn or whatever it may be, but you can kind of pick that up later. But so we need to identify here when there's 1C over here and 1A starting the round, okay? Starting the round, you need to just tell your team, guys, they're default. And you know what defaulting is?
Yeah.
It's about managing the space. I can kind of briefly go through it. So defaulting is an attacking concept where you manage the space as in you're holding the space, like not together, but one person is holding it, one person's holding here, maybe 2 people are holding this, and then one guy's like in between them or even with another guy, kind of just so they're spread across the map. That's kind of what defaulting refers to as in you're holding space all over the map, not one part of the map, but all over the map. And that's a starting the round mechanic slash attacking concept. Okay, attacking teams where let's say for example we rushed C 3 times. Okay, and they start we know like after those 3 rounds that why the fuck are they just 4 on site already? So that are right. You probably experienced that where you guys rush and they're just 4 there. Like what the fuck, right? That identifies to me that they actively know we're rushing or like they're rotating super quickly. As in, they're just first noise. One guy says, "Yo, C," they just all booking at C because they kind of expect you guys to rush. Okay, so where defaulting comes into play is when we need to kind of figure out, gain information, kind of just field around, see where specific important agents are, as in Cypher, Vice, the Sentinels usually, right? Killjoy, right? Because you're not going to run into a stack site with Killjoy and Cypher. The chances of you losing the round is quite high. So
I've seen Killjoy Cypher on one side.
Right, exactly. It's just common sense, right? So that's kind of what defaulting is, and it kind of is in the name too, right? You're defaulting, right? It's the default play. It's not a rush, right? A rush is a rush. A fake is a fake. A rehit is a rehit. Defaulting is just we're defaulting in all the space where we can just kind of see what's up, regain, regroup, whatever it may be, get our kills. You know, getting kills is bonusing and defaulting, as in like we have all the space and people start walking out, we kill them. We automatically know we can just regroup onto that side where we killed them, because that's if they're walking out, they're taking space. They assume it's on the other side, whatever it may be. It's all situational, but yeah. So that's
Hmm.
what defaulting is. We need to identify it's a default. Okay, they're holding space. They're not really trying to run down on a side and get the bomb down. They're trying to see what's up. So we gotta think about it on the attacker's perspective while we're on defense. So okay, this is what they're trying to do. So tell your team, guys, they're defaulting. Chill. Don't rotate. Don't move around. Just stay still. Let's see what they're gonna do. And then one guy will be like, oh, there's three here now. Okay, guys, start leaning towards three, right? So it's a little bit of understanding these concepts and putting it on both sides. Even as an attacker, you're not just
Hmm.
gonna call a concept as in let's rush or rotate or run a rehit or a fake, double
Hmm.
fake. You're gonna actively think what the defense is getting off of you guys and what they're thinking and how they like to move, right? In terms of the macro, that team in that rank game. Obviously, it's not a team setting, but
Hmm.
overall, you know, I told my student yesterday as well. It's like, you know, you ever get those games where like there's like some teams you play in rank where they just fucking bum rush you every game, right? And then there's just some teams
Yeah.
that play soup, like they're not like a team, but like the players combined their whole like playing style makes it where they're super slow. They're like faking you out and like they
Yeah.
start 5A and they cut noise and they go C, they cut noise again, they come
Yeah.
back and then they end up A. You're like, what the fuck are these retards doing, right? So you have to identify that as well. It's like, okay, what is the macro? What is this team, you know, what type of style are they leaning towards, and you can kind of get a general feeling for that, right? This adds into your game sense, and that will also help, you know, learning tendencies, picking up on tendencies super fast in real time, like after 2 rounds being like, yo, this guy always plays C, right? Your intuition, stuff like
Right.
that, will lead into your game sense getting much stronger, and your intuition being super strong. And I explain to my students where there are so many rounds where my intuition is just telling me something and I follow it. I'm like, yo, like I think there's one lurking up A, and then and then my teammates will think I'm hacking or my students will think I'm map hacking, right?
Hmm.
Because it's just my
Yeah.
intuition, it's my game sense. I've seen these scenarios a lot where, okay, for example, they start 3C and then they cut noise. I'm like, okay, they're probably not going in. They throw one smoke. I'm like, okay, it's a fake, it's a fake. I know that off playing
Yeah.
that scenario so much. So that's your game sense, is you got to develop it, and you don't develop it by getting it right in the beginning. You develop it by getting it wrong, okay? They start
True.
3C. Okay, they made a lot of noise. They threw one smoke, you know, and this is kind of how I learned it. So I would be like, "Let's see, they're rotating. It's they're gonna come in," because they threw one smoke, right? So I'll tell my team rotate, and then they ended up just re-hitting the other side. It was a fake. So then I started to understand. Okay, when they do that, you pick up on the small things. When they do that, it's a
Hmm.
fake. So now I know automatically it's a fake. Okay, or it's a re-hit. I would tell them, guys, be careful of the re-hit. Don't fully rotate to A. It might be a fake still,
Right.
right? So you kind of get what I mean. It's like I didn't learn that off getting it right the first time. I got it right by learning and failing at it. So you
Hmm.
really need to, especially I tell all my lower level players, you need to get things wrong. Okay, you're not gonna improve by just getting everything right. You gotta get make mistakes and build off those mistakes. For example, like I'm gonna take space here. Let's say I waited for like 10, 20 seconds and he came in this
Hmm.
corner and I didn't know, and I just like look at my minimap and he killed me. Like, what am I gonna do next time? I'm gonna do it again? Probably not. I'm gonna automatically start clearing this corner every single
Right.
time, and that's how I built my skill set. Where, you know, that's why I tell my students to always clear angles, because, you know, that I learned that way from mistakes, as in I never cleared my corners as
Hmm.
well, where I would just get shot from the back, or I'm like, I don't need to clear this corner, and then he's there, it's unexpected. But then now,
Yeah.
right, you kind of build off your mistakes. But that's that, okay. So yeah, just really work on this game sense and try to really grasp a hold on it. All right.
Hmm.
So coming with that point, I know I'm yapping, sorry, but I'm really trying to be as thorough as possible and for you to really understand it. I don't want to just tell you a generic thing and then it blow past your
Right.
head, because that's what happens with, I think, a lot of people. You know, I got coached too. I did the Konpeki Immortal Roadmap, right? Like, I understand what it's like to, you know, have a bad coach. So I really want to make sure you guys understand it before we really move on. But coming with this point,
Right.
understand. Boom, default. Even if you just saw or heard one, you heard one. You don't even need to see them. You hear it. You
Hmm.
hear one running up and one B, automatically no. It's default. If you hear three, it's a different story. Maybe if they're running up or whatever. But if you
Hmm.
see the information like this split up, you hear one, and you see one C, one A, automatically identify it's a default. Okay. Obviously, in your levels, it's not as common, but at the higher levels, it's defaulting is like probably 70% of rounds. Okay, as a attacking team. Okay, you're not gonna rush 90% of the time. You're gonna really do 70% default, 20% maybe fake slash rehits, and then like 10% rushing, or even maybe more. Maybe more rushing, but that's just a rough estimate. Okay, so next thing
Right.
is okay, round 12. So this is the last round of defense. Angle holding is way too wide open. We kind of touched on that. We understand that. They back up onto, they back up. Okay, so you guys started A. I remember this round a little bit. You guys heard them A main. You're holding a wide angle. You guys kind of started backing up because you heard them rushing up. You heard like 4 running. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you did. And then so they back up on the A site. Oh yes, I remember. And then I wrote kind of feels slash hears one went upstairs, like went this way instead of coming this way, right? Because they're so close. You
Yeah.
can kind of assume that if nobody's there and they're not coming in, you're like, okay, your intuition's like, okay, you could probably just wrap us, right? So kind of feels hears one went upstairs to wrap them.
Yeah, no,
He has good
I
crosshair
called it out.
placement
It was
and-
Reyna.
Right,
I was
right.
gonna tell Reyna that I was holding it for her, but like
Yeah.
I didn't.
And
should've.
this isn't a con round. This is a pro. This is a round you
Okay.
did well. So I actually want to ask you: did you hear him or did you just feel it? Like
Yeah, I
or-
heard him.
Okay, good. Okay, so it's the same, really the same thing, really. But so you know you held a very good crosshair placement, as in you had headshot level. You just walked out and you killed him, deletion,
Yeah.
and that's it. I wrote has good crosshair placement and deletes them. Right, that's high level stuff. Where right, I would be a little bit more urgent. Like guys, he's in our spawn. He's stairs right now. Look stairs, right? Because you know there are times where if you're not urgent, rounds are hectic.
Yeah, then
This
people
guy's
die.
running. The guys from C running, looking at his minimap. There's so much comms
Right.
going on, especially at the higher levels. Lower levels, people aren't talking. Different story, but you know this guy's gonna die if this guy has a good timing and you don't. You're not. Your comms aren't as assertive slash urgent enough. Okay, so just be urgent, guys. One stairs because this is such a crucial piece of information. If he's up here, he can do so much. He can go up here, come back, kill this guy, right? Come back, kill you
Yeah.
guys. He can just dismantle you guys, right? And that happens a lot at the higher levels too, where one good timing will dismantle the whole defense. They're just thrown off because they don't expect that guy. And he kills 2 people, 3 people. It just starts snowballing, right? You start taking the 1v1s,
Right.
and start deleting your team. So and then you guys are obviously gonna be like the attacking team is obviously gonna be there like already on site. So it becomes like a 4v1 because that guy's done
Yeah.
more than his job. Okay, so that was great round by you. I really like that. But just a little bit more of sense of urgency and don't be out in the open. We talked about it. Use your terrain.
Yeah.
Okay, we are on attack now. So we can work on our entering. Okay, this might be a little bit more of a longer section. Round 13, they go A. He kind of whiffs, misjumps, misjumps, makes good kills. Guy backside and pushes drop. Could stay back sight near boxes, calms where he gets killed from. So that last part was the good part. You're kind of baiting a little bit, and you made like a misstep. I can't remember where, like somewhere here. Like you kind of jumped up in the open when.
Yeah.
Oh no, you guys opened tree. That's what happened. You guys opened tree. I remember now. You opened tree and he was about to peek you and you were like this. And like
fat finger.
yeah, and that's fine. I just it's not that important. I just wrote, right, like
no, it's okay.
just try to help you understand why that's bad. You're probably gonna die at the higher levels. Not
Yeah.
that big of a deal. I just wrote it because I thought it was quite funny.
Yeah.
And then you gotta kill back sight. You scaled. Honestly, I think this might be your top 3 entering rounds. You kind of had initiative here. You went first in, even though it was like a soft entry because you didn't really clear anything. You didn't clear this. You didn't clear this box for your team. Like and then you just you didn't really like clear this either or like here this off angle. And then you killed this guy, which is great. And then you went here and then died, right? Like you can be a little bit
Yeah.
more patient because think about it as an attacking team. When you're there killing that guy, what is the guys behind you gonna do?
I
Like you're here killing this guy and your team's behind you. What are they really gonna do when they're coming out tree and then main?
Oh yeah, they're gonna come out, and then since I didn't clear it, they're just gonna get headshot because
Well,
I
they're-
walked out.
Well, they're they're gonna hold angles for you as well. Okay, so think about it that way, right? You're like, right, it makes sense. If
Yeah.
this is your POV, okay? You went like this, like let's say you hold it for a little bit, and then you start holding this and clearing this in a perfect world, and then you kill this guy. What do you think the
Right.
guy behind you is gonna do? Is he gonna follow your movement like?
No,
right?
he's holding for me.
Exactly.
So I don't.
So one guy would most likely hold this, or it's smoked. He's
Right.
gonna hold the smoke because he knows that you're running and making noise. So at the higher levels, people walk out and try to kill you because he knows that his teammates there are about to take a a fight. So he's gonna try to assume that you're running out by yourself, and maybe they smoke this as well, right? Your teammate comes out and they'll hold it
Mm-hmm.
and hold this and then hold this because they need to protect you. You're an asset as well, even though you're taking the selfless role. All right, because you're the entry. You're the guy that makes space clear. So if they don't protect you, space isn't gonna be clear, right? It makes
Right.
sense. Like it's common sense, right? Like you're
Yeah.
like the arrow. If there's no arrow, you're not gonna get into a tree or a body. It's gonna bounce.
Mm-hmm.
It's inefficient. Nothing's gonna ineffective. Nothing's gonna happen, right? So they need to protect slash sharpen the arrow. Think about it that way, where they need to protect you just as much as you need to protect the space or get the space for it to be safe for them, right? It's like
Right.
like a mutual thing where you guys are doing for each other. So that's the whole concept of playing with each other, where he's gonna hold this for you. You're gonna kill this guy slash clear this for him for when later down the round he can just walk up here, doesn't have to clear this, or he can just only look here where he knows nobody's sitting here because you've done that job for him. He's protected you to do that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's together, okay? So again, beautiful. Probably one of your best attacking rounds. You scaled here. Obviously, in a perfect world, your team's gonna be coming out as well. You're not gonna be here by yourself. You kind of were by
Right.
yourself. It's fine. I'm really trying to set you up for a higher level. So they're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
with you too. So trust in your team that they got your back. All right. Don't just uh be solo dolo. Just really really play with your team
Right.
because at the higher levels, once you start getting to diamond, people really really start playing with each other. Obviously, they're a lot of times they don't, but if you get to a high ascendant, that's where people are really, really coordinated and there's synergy, okay? In terms of matching each other's movement. Like, if you're out here fighting this guy, okay, 3 of your team is not going to be over here. One guy max is
Right.
going to hold this. The rest of the guys are going to be either, one guy might be holding this and another guy is going to be matching your movement. So if you're up here, he's going to be here ready with you. He's not going to be here AFK just letting you solo dolo doing it, okay? The lower levels, yes,
Right.
but at the higher levels, no. Okay, so yep, great round, great entry. He cleared backside, common angles. Here, I can't remember if it was smoked or not. I don't think it
It was
was.
not.
Yes, I don't think it was.
I remember peeking, dying, and
Yeah,
thinking I
yeah,
shouldn't
like
have peeked.
right, and this kind of comes in with our game sense. It's like we have man advantage, especially when we kill this guy, and the sight advantage,
Mm-hmm.
as in this guy has to come out or just stay here forever. So you
Right.
kind of played into his grounds, his rules. That's kind of what he wanted, where he's waiting for you, and you just peeked him, and he just had
Yeah.
crosshair level, right? Play on your terms, so you hold because he's gonna be super fucking annoyed when you don't. He's holding this angle. He knows you're here. He knows you're here, and you're not peeking.
And then
him.
I just don't peek him.
Exactly.
Right.
He's gonna just be super pissed. He's like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" Like he's
And
gonna
then he has
just
to worry about tree.
exactly.
And he
This
can't just peek
and,
out.
and obviously in your game, this guy didn't get insta traded, but at the higher levels, this guy's instantly dead. Okay.
Right.
So you need to play on your terms. You kill this guy. I know he's there. Tell your team, yo, one drop and just hold this forever. And because you
Mm-hmm.
just gotta trust that your team's got your back. Obviously, the guy holding here, once he dies, you kind of know this guy's gonna start coming out. So it's a
Right.
little bit of identifying those type of scenarios. It's all different, but here in this specific one, okay, you kill this guy, beautiful. Hold this whole part of the map down. Let's just pretend it's a
Right.
perfect world. There's one guy here playing with you, kind of like playing under you, like this, or like even one guy's like on the default box, just holding the come out of stairs. There's one guy tree just
Right.
here, and then there's like one guy holding flank slash watching the stairs cross into sight. So that's usually how the higher levels play. They're playing really off each other and together unison, where they can trust each other. Right, so trust your team. He's got your back. As soon as you see he's dead,
Mhm.
okay, get ready for it. Okay, stuff like that.
Right.
Obviously, don't just start holding this when he dies, because this guy's gonna get ready to
Yeah.
retake all of you guys. So just identify these situations. Okay. Overall, very good round. The comms were very good too. Just a little bit of a bad decision here. It's a little bit of an
Right.
ego play. You know he's there. You want the kill.
Yeah.
Right. Play for the. I tell all my students, play for the win. Don't play for your stats. I don't care if you're 10 and 20. If you're literally effectively scaling, clearing corners for your team, killing the guy backside, and locking down
Mhm.
sites for the bomb, because bomb takes 45 seconds to explode, 7 seconds to defuse. So right, if you're doing your job as an entry, no, even if you're
Mhm.
getting lucky, you're entering and you're still getting one tap, you're losing your fights because 3 people are peeking you, stuff like, but your team is training. And bro, I would have been like, yo, you played really really well. I do not care about your stats, okay? So
Mm-hmm.
that's something we got to think about. Play for the win. Playing for the win means climbing, okay? And it's winning rounds. Winning rounds means winning games. Winning games means climbing, okay? So that's that.
Right.
Play for the win. So round 14. This is a pro, I'm pretty sure. Good pre-round planning. Still have problem using utility. So that's just your utility usage. You're not using your smokes. Okay, this is one of the most broken entering tools that you can have. Okay, you clear this. You
Yeah.
would come pretend this is closed. You would clear this. This is smoked off. You would dash. You would smoke dash on site, and then why it's so broke. This combo is so broken. Is when you do this is the guys on site want to kill you. They know you're in that smoke. But the problem is if they just try to chase you down in the smoke, his team is behind you. They're not gonna let you solo dash on site. Okay? So when you do
Right.
this, not at these levels, but at the higher levels, they're going to be behind you. Okay? So when these guys are, they're like, yo, jet dash default, and he's gonna say it's like tunnel vision on you. He's
Mm-hmm.
instantly dead. This guy just
Yeah.
okay. It's like a divergence, but it's also a entering thing as well. Like you get to get on site and gain information. Okay, you can kind of just hold the smoke, start coming out, kill this guy, boom, 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 whatever it may be. Okay, but
Right.
at the higher levels, he's really they play off this dash. They're not gonna be so far back where you solo dash. They're gonna be behind the dash where once these guys try to kill this guy, or even if they do kill you, they got your back, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna instantly trade this guy. They have a free sight. You did your job. You entried, and then whatever they can play accordingly, stuff like that. Okay. Um, yeah, just I can't remember exactly what you said, but you just had good pre-round planning. You're like, hey guys, can we do this? You get creative with it, even if it's wrong. Like for example, in late game scenarios where it's like tie game, super, it's all good if you
Right.
lose the game off that one mistake because that's how you improve on this type of game sense, leadership, pre-round, like your IGL skills, right? This kind
Mm-hmm.
of goes into IGL, in-game leader, right? That's what it stands for, your IGL skills, and you have those skill sets to be an IGL, and you need to be an IGL to hit Immortal Radiant. Okay, you can't just be an AFK person that just doesn't talk. Okay, round 15 needs to have a bit more planning. Instead of running down, run fakes, re-hits, insert lurks, identify when to leave. Okay, this is a little bit of everything: game sense, movement,
Mm-hmm.
positioning, understanding maps, understanding padding, how defenses like to play, rotations, how people like to rotate, stuff like that. Super complicated, right? But once you get a good understanding of all those, bro, it's gonna feel like you're map hacking. I'm telling you, you're gonna be like, what the fuck am I doing? What am I calling? It's crazy. Okay, it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be so map hack. Okay, so and you have those skill sets, but uh, like in round 14 you did it well. It probably could be much better, but in round 15 you didn't really do it. Like your team just you follow your team, right? You're being a follower. 4A and
Yeah.
they just start walking down. And it's not even like you're leading them to do the rush. You're kind of behind them and going through the motion of going onto the site, but they're doing all the
Right.
hard, heavy lifting. Okay, you're getting kind of carried in these rounds, as you would say,
Right.
in terms of production, not kills or whatever, but just
Mm-hmm.
production, as in your role, your job. The Reyna was really doing the heavy lifting on attack. He was literally first in, just clearing corners and stuff like that. Like I was watching him too, so he was really the real point of attack. You were a little bit more lurking behind, and which isn't bad. Okay, obviously when you have two entries, I said this to another student. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
when you have two entries, obviously there are times where you entry and he entries. It's a shared rule, right? But you
Right.
still need to pull your weight. You were not pulling your weight. He was doing it all the time. So you kind of have to identify this. Even communicate it with him. Hey, Reina, can you entry this round? I have a play here. I can kill one here, right? He's gonna trust that,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna believe in you, and he's gonna do it. And there's times he's gonna do it. Yo, can you entry site? I'm gonna walk down mid here. Like, or he doesn't even have to say that. He's gonna say, I'm gonna walk down mid here, and then okay, it's my duty to do it. It's my turn to do it.
Right.
I'm next up. Okay, so it's kind of like that. But yeah, so a little bit more planning instead of just following them and just going with the flow where they start. Just actively, just take a chill pill. Okay, don't just start it around. Don't just start running down. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me. I tell this to all my students. Stop. Okay, buy your stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Press tab. Understand what's going on. Okay, look at the enemy's alt orbs. Where, like, how many alt orbs are off with crucial alts like KO alt, KJ alt, stuff like
I
whatever it
was
may be.
terrified of Neon Ult.
Sure, but neon alt, right? Right? Like understand the whole picture of the game. This tab is literally like 30%, maybe even more of the rounds information. Okay, if they got 2K
Mhm.
credits each, like what is that? And that's a question. What can you get? What's happening in that round
You
if they
can
have?
buy a sheriff and a shield.
No, no,
Not
no.
vandals though.
Let's
They're on
say,
eco.
yeah, yeah, exactly. They're on eco, so we know that they're dog shit economy, right? Just off pressing
Right.
tab. In Counter Strike, you don't have that. You need to actively think, and that's why the skill ceiling is much higher in Counter Strike because you don't get that information. It's such a crucial piece of information where you need to track their economy. But in this game, it's tracked for you. So just press tab. Look, okay, they got a full bagger, guys. That's what I do. I started the round. I
Mhm.
look at the whole board. I look at the whole board. Okay, guys, Neon is off one orb, two orbs. They even if they got 3.6k of that type of money, not 5k for a full
Mhm.
loadout or 4k, I'll be like, guys, they could still buy, right? You got to talk in possibilities. The chances of them buying here, even if it's let's say a pistol round, we won a pistol round and they killed us and they got the bomb down. You know how you get like extra money, so they have like 2.5. You don't know how many
Yeah.
rounds where I'll be like, yo, they're gonna buy. Like this money tells me they're gonna buy, because I
Yeah.
understand the general thought process there, where they're like, yo, we got good money, we have a good shot of winning the round, because I've done that too. So it goes always both ways. So I understand that. So I'm like, okay, guys, they're gonna buy, and you don't know how many rounds I've done where they do actually have that thought process and actually buy. Okay, so um, and I predict it by just looking at tab. Okay, so we gotta really look here. How many alt orbs are they off? What's their economy? Okay, stuff like that, and start planning based off that as well. Obviously, when they're in a full buy, you gotta just start thinking about the map, as in, okay, guys, can we default here? Let's start the round on default and then see what we get. If
Right.
we get a kill, let's group up. Okay, actively be the leader. That's being an IGL. So guys, can you guys have three sit, like, for example, if I would solo play, I'd be like, okay, guys, this is the play. One C, one A. C guy's gonna hold the walkout or hold C main. I'm gonna hold A main. Three, or even for I'll give this example. I'm gonna hold A main. Three of you guys on B. Clear space, kind of walk up, don't make noise. Right? It's like a pre-round
Right.
planning, as in like a preset plan, and then you can use it any other way, as in, guys, we're gonna do a two-man fake on A. You guys sit outside B. If they walk out, you kill them. We'll let you know when to start walking up into B. Okay, and then we start making noise. Boom, boom. We
Right.
start faking. Boom, boom, boom. And then I'll be like, start walking up. Start walking up. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna tell them to walk up when I'm rotating. I'm gonna tell them to walk
Mhm.
up when we're making noise. That way, they're occupied. People in this game just start running off first contact. As soon as they see this shit, they're gonna boom, 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 boom. Okay, and this guy's going to be and I tell them to take the timing. Okay, and there's a lot of mistakes even at the higher level where I set the plan and they're just sitting here AFK, and I have to tell them to start walking up because
Mhm.
they don't know what the hell to do. They don't understand these type of concepts or using our brains like that. So I'm like, it's a two-man fake, and then there'll be rounds where we lose the round. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, how are you guys not up already? Right? Like, you guys should be fucking
Right.
in spawn. Like, and I get upset, but it is what it is. So yeah, so we gotta really identify those type of pre-planning stuff. And I just wrote run fakes. Okay, as in, guys, let's
Mhm.
start 5A, or let's start 4A. One guy sit in our spawn, hold the B flank, and I'm gonna stay here. As soon as we make noise, two of you start running off towards our guy and start going C. Okay, because you
Yeah.
gotta keep guys to keep it a fake, because if you just all run off, they automatically know it's a fake. So stuff like that. Okay, that would be the fakes, and then the rehits, as in, guys, we're gonna do a rehit. So we start A, 5-man A, make a bunch of noise, cut noise, and then we're gonna rehit after 10 seconds, stuff like that. And then the next thing would be inserting lurks. Is the same thing, as in, like, it's kind of the same example, as in, like, okay, guys, we're gonna start 3C, 1B, 1A. We're gonna make a bunch of noise C, come back, we're gonna end A, and the B guy's gonna come late lurk mid. Okay, so that's called inserting a lurk. You're inserting him into the map where he has
Mhm.
a timing. Okay, stuff like that. And then also wrote, you need to identify when to leave. Obviously, if you start here, or you have just crucial pieces of information, as in KO knives up here, and then the Raze through his nade, and ISO through his invulnerability. Like, how many people are there? That's the question. How many people are on the
Uh.
site if there's a KO knife, Raze nade here, and an ISO shoots his invulnerability here to combo?
Three.
Exactly. We automatically know there's three. Guys, get the fuck out. Go see right now. There's one
Right.
guy max, one guy B. You can even go B, because people play soft on B. They play retake on B. So, you gotta identify these scenarios. let's say we started 5 here, and then we don't see the utility, but we hear 3 guns. One guy's shooting this.
Right.
One guy's here, bam, 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 and then you hear another guy with an op, boom, right? You automatically
Yeah.
know, guys, get the fuck out of here. Okay, let's go see. Let's get the fuck out. So you gotta be that kind of guy, and you need to build that skill of processing information immediately, guys. Our chances of dying here or losing the round is super, super high. Even if we're crispy pro players, get the fuck out.
Right.
Let's take the less risk approach. Let's get on site for free. Let's 4v5 one guy on the site. Okay, so that's that with those concepts. Round 16, they go A, and he's running around post plant too much, so this is not too much of a big deal. We kind of touched on it. Like, they almost got the bomb down, like, and you were just like it was just like all over. You're just making so much noise. I can't remember exactly where it was, and it wasn't specific. It doesn't really matter. It's just more so the sequence. Like, you're just running around a little bit too much, right? Just
Yeah.
you could just shift walk as well. Just be a ninja. Just because don't give away information. Just, you could even go up here. Just right. Just because at the higher levels, it's so quiet. Okay, because everyone's shift walking. Okay, until it's like, you're fully planted at setting up. They're not going to shift walk anymore and spawn.
Right.
They're going to start running to get ready for retake, or people are running through breakable, or you hear them go up, whatever it may be. It's all situational. But at the higher levels, they understand that noise is so directional audio is really important. As in, they're actively so good at listening at directional audio, and they're so good at not giving away it as well. Okay, so we gotta really build this skill. As in, just, I'm not saying shift walk all the time. Okay, I'm not just saying AFK
Right.
shift walk all the time. I'm just saying you need to understand when to use it and when not to use it. Okay, like for example, if I was flanking, if I was, let me give you a good example. Like, what's a good example? Like, I was on A like you, and then you went C, right? You're rotating. It's a 1v2 situation. Like, you're not gonna start running where they hear you. Like, look at my
Right.
look at my cone, look at my radius. Like, no, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna gain the space as much as I can, and then just start like, let's say I see the guy, like one guy's planning, and my team told him one main, right? Like, I already kind of know,
Right.
so I just stop here and then start walking, right? You have lots of time. You have 45 seconds, so there's no rush. Different story if it's, they've had the bomb down for 20 seconds. You're gonna have to run out. You're gonna have to tell them where you
Right.
are and take those fights. But you'd still cut noise kind of around here. You're not gonna actively just start going like this, because they're gonna play off each other and kill you. They're gonna start ringing around the Rosie, whatever it may be, and then play accordingly, stuff like that, right? So it's a little bit of knowing when to do it, and stuff like that, that you need to work on. Round 15 needs to have a bit more planning instead of running down. Needs to have a bit more planning instead of running down. Wait, no, sorry. We're on round 17. They start A. Good pre-fire. Would like him to scale better. Tells team last guy is low. So this wasn't too specific of a round, because I think it wasn't that big of a round. So usually I'm specific when it's like a super crucial round. But this round
Right.
I wrote, they start A good pre-fire. I can't remember what this was. Would like him to scale better. Tells team last guy. So you had really good comms where, like it became like a 1v1 situation, and then you told him he was low. You're like 40 on the
Right.
guy. You remember that round? I just can't remember what
Yeah.
happened before that. I don't know why. But so you had like a good pre-fire, like you kind of, I guess, peaked an angle. That's just a pro. You could just watch the VOD for that. And this one's just
Mhm.
common sense. Would like you to scale more. Okay, just we need to actively be the point of attack. And this is, if you watch the VOD from yesterday, he's on Mortal 1 peak. He literally, if not, had a worse time than you. Like, you kind of still kind of went backside and tried to take duels. This guy literally, I'm not joking, he would go on site, and this is my other duelist player and my other gold guy too. They would just AFK here. Like, bro, like, the first thought is to get on site. I tell all of them, okay, your first thought process is super good. You want to enter. You know that you need to go on site first. Great. You've identified the first thought process. Good. But then they go blank because they just sit AFK. Now we need to identify where they can be. Okay, I got here. Okay, I'm going to hold this. Start, kind of slicing the pipe, clearing all these off angles, clearing backside, and scaling. Okay, I explain this to all my students. Okay, name me any map, any site Okay, there's always 3 section-ishes. Like, all maps are kind of different, all sites are different, but there's
Right.
usually 3 sections to the map. Okay, so the first section of a map is always the fucked up angles. Like, look at any map on attack on a custom game,
Yeah.
do it. Okay, it's always the fucked up angles, as in angles where they're holding you from, not only where they're holding you from, but angles you need to clear. Okay, like if they're here, like this is a left-right angle, you can't clear this by yourself. A lot of the time, you need your team or utility to
Right.
clear this. So the first section is always this is a really bad map to explain this, but it still kind of applies. Because like Haven is a much better example, but so it's always the fucked up angles. Okay, even the parts leading up to the first section is always
Yeah.
fucked up angles, right? It's not just the site, but parts that lead up to it, like this. Like there's always off angles here where this guy's holding like this. People go to the box. People play. I used to play this angle a fuck ton, and it used to work all the time. But these days, oh
My
fuck,
ult's
these
ready.
days not so much. But when I was, 2 years ago when I was using it on Lotus,
hmm
it was a fucking gold mine. I would get fucking so many kills here, like 10 kills a game, just sitting here like this, and they would, oh fuck, keep dying, sorry. And they would just die, right? They would walk up and I'd die. It's an off angle. No one clears that. I clear it because I know I used to play it. So I would come,
Right.
clear this, I would jiggle, and then make sure they're not gonna swing, and then I always clear it because I used to play it, right? And then before you clear this, you always clear this off angle, hold this, and then right, obviously you're gonna do it with your team. If you do it with by
Right.
yourself, it's super hard. Like you might wanna like. If you're lurking, you're probably
Pre-fire.
not gonna shoot the box, but
Just spam the
if you're just kind of defaulting, trying to make noise, like it doesn't matter if you guys make noise, or if
Yeah.
you guys are all over the map. Different story. You're gonna just probably spam this, hold this, make some noise, and then right, like look how fucked up it is to clear this site. Like I have to
Yeah,
not
it's a
only
lot of
clear
stuff
the
to clear.
first section leading up to the first section, but I gotta clear this, and I clear this, hold this, I gotta make sure they're not gonna peek me, and then like I gotta like jiggle it, right? So this map is this site is probably a bad example. This site probably a little bit better, where you're gonna be with your team, or even if you're by yourself, you
hmm
can kind of just jiggle this, and then you're gonna hold this, and then right, you're gonna hold the pillar, hold this, and then you're gonna walk up, right? So first section is always the fucked up angles, as in crossfires, angles where they're holding you, stuff like
Right.
that. The second section are spots close to or near back sight. So on B there's really no back sight, right? But it'll be more for A. We can go on A and I can show you, I guess. It's probably way better example. Where like for A, you clear rubble, perfect world, he cleared it, right? This is smoked off,
hmm
perfect world. This is closed. You guys can spam this, clear this, perfect world, right? This is smoked, right? You guys, this is the first sections leading up to the first section, so you always clear this. High level people always sit
Right.
here, and then they play off another guy where there's utility or whatever. So this is smoked. Guy is obviously holding the smoke. He's not gonna not hold it for you. Oh, okay, sorry. This always happens. Uh, if you're in the custom for too long, it always
Oh.
disintegrates. But yeah,
Okay.
just will take a second. But just going off that point, it's like right? Like we clear that box, and then we would look towards those off angles. They hold from the entrance, right?
Yeah.
And then we would do that. We would make our way towards backside, as in like like on A. There's backside, but there's those sides, right? Even on like Haven, on
Right.
C, and like Abyss on A, like the bridge
hmm
side and the under Heaven section where
Yeah.
people just sit there, and it's not technically backside, but it's so that's why I say it's close to or near backside, and then the backside part is added onto that. Okay, so let me just show you real quick. Sorry, you can just
Let's go.
lock in an agent real quick. I hate Valorant servers. Like I can't believe that they added that in the game, where they disconnect
Yeah, it's
you
kind of weird.
if you're in there for too long. Like that makes absolutely no sense. It's actually bullshit, but it's not a big deal. So yeah, let me just show you really quickly on a.
Okay, mia familia. Leave the
I
fireworks
just look at
to
my
me.
POV.
Should be plenty loud for you to
So
have
again.
some fun.
My ult's ready.
So again, you would clear this. Clear this. This is smoke. Perfect world. We'd hold this off angle, and you kind of did that too. There was times you kind of pre-fired, knew they're there. Somebody would hold this, obviously, when you guys start taking this space, and then
Right.
we would clear here. We'd clear up. That's kind of backside, but we'd make sure this is clear. Perfect world. They can start coming out tree as well. We'd clear this, and then we work on the second section of the map, the site where it's back site. The area drop
Yeah.
here, off angle on heaven, and then once that whole this second section slash first section is all clear, then we can. I'm not saying you should, but then you have the choice to. But the first and second section is a must clear. Okay, that's what I explained to my
Right.
students. First section up to first section and second section is a must clear because that's the whole of sight, right? That's where once you clear those sections, you kind of know you have a free site, like no one's playing there, right? Or if you killed them
Right.
there, so then you can go to the third section, which is spawn. So as for example here, it would be you could scale into heaven and get more kills, have them with their pants down, go into stairs, right? I would consider this probably third section. It's not really part of the site, so but it leads into spawn. You can do so much here. You can wrap stuff like that. People get caught with their pants down here, where they're running with their knife out. So then you can go, right? You're not gonna go stairs without clearing really this area, because even the tree guy can just murder you. This guy can just sit here and murder you. Even this area, like this guy, people always love playing here. So that's kind of how I explain entering. So just keep that in mind. If you keep that in mind, you're gonna improve any site. Okay, just think about it this way. I need to clear the first sections. Okay, once I clear the first section, and obviously you're not gonna lurk into the second section, but as a team entering, you just automatically know, okay, I must clear these angles for my team, for me to get more kills, or know where they will play in these sections. Okay,
Right.
so that's that. We are on round 18, so we're almost done. We got 4 more specific rounds, and then we'll get into the range. I'll show you some stuff, and then so round 18, they start A. He needs to just tell his team to rotate, needs more patience. So this, we already kind of talked on this, identifying what's going on. Like, I heard 3 here, and you guys still went. You guys obviously still won the round, but I remember you guys winning the round. I'm pretty sure, guys, that it doesn't really matter. It's more about this early sequence and the game sense aspect. Bro, there's 3 there, just leave. And you know what a lot of the high level players do is they'll make so much fucking noise A main, like 5 people here, the whole defensive team, because when your intention, your body language as an attacker is here, that means you're willing to go on the site, you're about to go on the site. Okay?
Yeah.
Your intention from here is different from up there, right? Here is like, okay, I just see 3, they're not up, right? But if you're up here, they're like, oh fuck, they're and they toggle the door, they're like, oh fuck, they're probably inside trying to go. So that will trigger the defensive team to stack, get ready for you guys. And then what the high level players will do, the high level lobbies, they'll get here, this is map specific, they'll get here A main and then just break this door, and they 5-man run through breakable into B into C, because they know that there's likely 4 people there. Obviously while they're rotating, they don't all have their knives out, they're all actively having their gun out, clearing things for each other. Yo, I'm holding heaven for you. And then this guy starts walking. Okay, I got it. Come. And then what they're running, they're holding this. Okay, it's clear. So no one's there. And then like actively clearing everything while they're rotating together. So that way, no one guy can just sit here and just do and kill 3 people, right? Stuff like that. So that's just a little bit more of a specific example. But you can kind of get a gist of it, as a defender. We can literally know their attention just based off where they're positioned. Okay, if they're up here, okay, they're likely going in or trying to set up whatever, like this play specifically on this map. They're You could also just be like, as a defender, yo, they're up super close stairs. They could go breakable. Someone stay B, right? You could be proactive, as in you already know people like to do that. I'm gonna be one step ahead of that, and that's what I do a lot of times when they're up here and they made a lot of noise, but then they start cutting noise. I'm like, yo, stay B, yo, like kind of lean towards B, and then guys will kind of come up or whatever. If this guy's up here, your teammate timing this guy walking up and saw his back, like you kind of know he's committing to go to spawn, so then you play accordingly and stuff like that. So you, as a defender, you can get their intentions / knowing what they're doing really well. As an attacker, it's different because you're not actively seeing them as much. They're all tucked in corners, playing off their util. They're really reacting to you guys or trying to be proactive to you guys, right? You guys are the ones that set the pace. The attackers set the pace, right? And I tell this to my students, it's like real wartime. The attackers set the pace, right? The defenders may give up the space or fight for that space, but if the attackers are sitting in a trench, the defenders are going to sit in the trench too, right? But once they start coming in with tanks and shit, they're going to get ready, right? So it's a little bit of that, okay? So round and just add a little bit of patience. Okay, you guys are, I know low ranks they just start running it down, but just
Yeah.
you instill that in your team. Guys, wait, stop being retarded, right? Wait, chill,
Yeah.
chill. Okay, just wait. Let me hear. Let me think for a second, right? You guys are just mindlessly like and that's a common
Yeah.
theme, and especially even in Ascendance, bro. Don't think it's just a low level thing. That's like one of the most common mistakes I see a lot of people do. They just do not know how to be patient. And when I watch Radiant players and pro players play, even when they're in a 1v1 duel, like this guy's not just swinging him, he's just waiting here for like 10
No.
seconds. And I was just
Right.
like, what the fuck? This guy is so patient, right? Like even with lurks, or like you'll just see them sitting, and the noobs will question like, what the fuck is he doing? Why is he just AFK? But it's like his brain is so big that he's meta gaming the opponents, where he's not just gonna do the predictable shit and just swing. Even if like he's in
Right.
mid fight, and like he knows he's 1 HP, he's not just gonna swing, he's just gonna wait. Maybe he's gonna wrap, so he just waits. Like he just waits for like 10 seconds. The guy just waits, comes out and kills him, right? Like you've probably seen that in pro play a lot, right? Like that's the
Yeah.
patience aspect of their game. Like they're so good at it. Like me, I'm pretty patient, but I need to get to that level too. Like that level is a different level of patience. Okay. In my lobbies, I just like to, try to take fights and just instantly delete them, because I understand the faster I kill them, the faster we can take the site. It's less time for them to set up on us, right? If we're just taking forever to get on site, their team is gonna likely be really ready to or rotated already over.
Right.
So that's that. Just add patience, and yeah. Round 19, they start A. He's a little bit far back, but not actively clearing angles for his team. They go breakable to B. So this is the one time you guys did that, where you went breakable to B, starting A. Post plant, he pushes into spawn from C link. Good comms. So this is a little bit of bads and pros in this round. So you guys started A again. You're baiting them super hard, and then you weren't clearing anything as well. You're just following them, looking at their back, right? Like, what if this guy triggered this one? Nobody cleared this. And
Yeah.
3 people walk. It's just gonna kill all, and you do walk up too. You guys are all dead, especially at higher level. So then you guys broke breakable, went to B. Guys got the bomb down, and I really, really, really like this play. You kind of understood that they're more likely going to be way more people here, so you went through C link back to spawn
Right.
wrap. But one thing I would say is I really love this thought process, but you still have to actively clear your corners and make sure there's no late anchors, because you know what anchoring is, right?
Yeah.
The one guy stays on
Yeah.
site until the bomb is down, because they don't want 5 people on A. They're just gonna rotate and get a free
Right.
site. It's like being a proactive thing, like just in case they come back, there's one guy there to kill the lurk, or just kind of hold it down for us to have that space. So you always have to keep an anchor in mind, especially when you're going from breakable into B. Always gotta
Yeah.
think that there's one C. So you kind of just went like this. I love this thought process. You took the space where you believe there's less people, less resistance, but we still have to be proactive. Clear this corner. Just be patient. Wait. Just listen too. Maybe this guy's gonna run. Okay. Don't just look this way and AFK. Always, I tell all my lurking players, people that like to lurk, look behind. Don't just chase the guy because you saw him there and stare at his back. Look behind. There's
Right.
always straggle. There's always people shift walking. So look behind, and then obviously you're not gonna look behind here, but like maybe up to here, look behind, and then get ready to fight people running down here. I'm kind of lagging. Coming down here, and then so one thing I did notice, I was writing it. I was like, yo, he should tell them that he's flanking and for them to wait. And then you said it.
Yeah.
So I processed that information way faster than you. So once you're here, you need to be like, yo, I'm gonna wrap spawn. Can you guys stay alive? Do not fucking die. Okay, you said it around
Yeah, I
here.
realized when I got around
Yeah,
here.
exactly. Right, but I processed that information so fast. I'm like, yo, he needs to tell his team to stay up, because it's such a common thing. It happens in my game too, where I have the craziest timing, craziest look. I'm like, yo, I have 3. Wait. I'm begging them to wait, and they
Right,
just all start
right.
picking and dying. And I just go here. I won't even try to win the round. I'm like, fuck you guys, man. I literally told you guys to wait. Like, what are you doing? Like, it tilts me so hard, right? But that's just me. But I hope you don't do that, but I'll just be like, yo, like, I'm begging you guys, please, just wait, right? And those, if they just sat in a corner for 10 seconds, we would have won the round. They just went like this, played off each other, but they just swing. So you kind of know where that's going wrong. But great thought process, great execution. Just need to be a little bit faster on the information processing or the communications.
Right.
Guys, wait, chill. Just beg them, bro. If they're not listening, beg them. Be like, please, I got two here. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because that's sometimes the only times they'll listen, and they'll tell you to shut up or whatever. But it's like it worked, right? It's like it's
Right.
the only way. So that's that. Okay, round 20. KOC, he's mid. They need to run it down A after seeing Reyna C and ISO mid. Oh, okay, you guys were attacking. Yes, so I remember this round. So KO was starting C. So you guys were doing a like a soft default where three of you guys were kind of together. KO C, you were mid. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They need to run it down A after seeing Reyna. So the three guys were here, right? So okay, yeah. So your KO saw Reyna C, and then you were here, and then started going towards your team, right? And the ISO
Yeah.
missed his ult. Okay, I actively heard. You'll see it in the VOD. He threw his ult, whether it was here or like, cause I didn't see it, but I heard him use it and miss. He didn't get the KO, so he missed. Right? There's the only guy there. So he was on B though. Like you could hear it from B coming.
Yeah.
So when I see that information, I kind of know that they assume we're C because the Reyna saw KO. The Reyna's probably telling his team, you know, these are bad players, so their comms are gonna be bad. Yo, oh, let's see, probably, right? You know, obviously my level's a
Yeah.
different story, but you know, I would process it in your game, this specific round. They're leaning towards C mid. They kind of think we're there, right? So
Mhm.
and you kind of started going, but and then you guys got a kill here. The three guys got a kill here. You need to immediately lead your team. Guys, run it fucking down right now. Go. Smoke stairs. Let's go, guys. Execute right now. Okay?
Yeah.
Because you guys waited. You'll see in the VOD. You guys waited 5 seconds here. Like, playing with your cocks. Like, just tell them, guys, we need to go right now. It's the less resistance here. There's probably going to be
Right.
max 1, max 2. Max 2 if I give them the benefit of the doubt. But these are bad players, so I know they just start running to first contact when they see the KO. So they probably are around spawn. So you got to be giving them a sense of urgency. Guys, go right now. Open the tree, smoke stairs. Let's go. Can we go? I'm going in right now. I'm dashing in. Okay, look drop, smoke drop, guys. I'm backside, clear, right? Stuff like that. Okay, I'm
Right.
kind of rushing the comms, but you kind of get how it would sound like. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just like identifying what they're doing, what they're thinking, and knowing where the weak spots are off that information. Round 21, they start 4A. He goes A main, needs to just go dash into sight. He has used, so this is a note, he has used dash maybe one time. Still no ult.
Oh, no.
Oh, so that's round 21. Oh no, that's the same note. So still no ult 20 rounds in. Also no smokes really being used. He used it one time, right? You used it one time on defense where you
Yeah.
double smoked here. That's on one time. You never really ever use dash. On attack, you used it twice. One time to Q on that one round where you guys went breakable, and you still didn't use it. You
Right.
Q'd it, but you didn't use it. Here as well, you Q'd it, but you didn't use it. You could just dash on site. And something I explained to my students as well. This is a really bad site to explain it on, but most maps, this is how really high level players, especially like Fluorescent,
Blocking sight.
the Game Changers pro, she clears her
Yeah.
angles like this. Like I got that from her, and it makes so much sense, right? I don't need to just dash one direction and look only one direction, or just look at the smoke. I'm gonna be headed there anyways. So she goes like this, and then she looks at the mini map to see, and her team can see because these are high level players. They can see if somebody's there off just a
Right,
question
okay.
mark. So if there's question marks there, you know, for example, we dashed in here, right? And we did that,
Right.
right? We went like this, like fast, not like stare at it and dash, but we just went like this, like just even like this, right? And we're in the smoke. Our team automatically knows, okay, guys, we gotta swing out, and then you would help them. Obviously, you come out to smoke, kill this guy, help kill this guy,
Right.
whatever it may be. But you kind of can use it like that on any site. You don't have to just Q, dash, and just go like that. Okay, that's what the mid player levels do. High level players will Q, dash,
Blocking sight.
and trying to get like a quick look where you can see, or maybe just a question mark, right? Obviously, I'm doing it super fast. You can probably slow down a
Blocking
little bit,
sight.
like that, or you know, maybe that smoke's really bad, like deeper there, like that, right? Where I look left and right, okay? Where my vision cone can get the question mark. Okay. So, yeah, just needs to dash into sight on A. This is just your utility usage, right? Round 22, so this will be your last round. Yay. Planning pre-round. So that was a pro, as in you were actively trying to make plans for the round, okay?
Yeah.
They go B. Dash Q so late and still doesn't use it. I'm pretty sure this is that round I was talking about. Just goes heaven rafters and sits there, gives good comms where they're coming from. So that's a little bit of good and bad.
Last player
my
standing.
ult's
As
ready.
in, you're planning post round, pre-round, very great, love it. They go B, but you cue your dash, and you're just like you're entering the site like this. You'll see in the VOD. I was like, what the hell, right? And then you go up here, and then you just sat here,
Yeah.
and you didn't even use it. Like, bro, just use it, right? Like if
Yeah.
you're gonna queue it up, you might as well just use it. You could have done this and got here way faster and had a timing where you kill him here instead of just sitting here
Yeah.
and fighting him here. Where this is a common angle, so they're gonna throw you till they're gonna spam you through the buff, whatever it may be. Okay, so the utility usage, especially Jet, will help you have better timings. Okay, because obviously they hear you on hear you dash on site, but it's like, they're really not gonna know where you're gonna go off that, right? So
Yeah.
even if they heard this, they're just gonna say, "Yo, Jet, updraft, dash it inside." They don't know you're here. They might think you're there, whatever it may be. So, that's that. Okay. So again, I'm just gonna generalize really, really quick. So you have really good aim.
Yep.
We really gotta work on your utility usage, especially when you're a duelist. Okay, just because you're a duelist doesn't mean you rely on aim. Okay.
Right.
I know if you're a Reyna, you only have a flash, but even me, I've gotten so good with just using the flash because that's the only piece of utility I really need to use, or I can actively
Yeah.
use without getting a kill. Dismiss and heal is a different story, but I got used to getting creative with it because it's just my one piece of util. That's all I have to do is use this piece of util and have aim. So I'll start throwing it up here, throwing it on the corner on the
Here.
when I entry with Reyna.
Yeah.
I'll throw it not up here. I'll throw it on where the off angles are peeking us coming out the first angle and throw it on the ground because I understand people are holding like this. If I just throw it on the ground, they have to readjust down, and it's really good because it's tight.
Here.
It's gonna
Right.
hold the angle because I used to throw the flashes up here and they would never be flashed or whatever it may be. Like it's not as effective. Like they would still be able to
Yeah.
see me run out because it's out here, right? But
Yeah,
if I throw it down here,
yeah.
they cannot see. They're instantly flashed. So it's kind of like understanding the utility you have, the kit with the agent. But yeah, that's that. So that's
I
all
think
your
I found the
notes.
Reyna,
Sorry.
when I was playing here,
Yeah.
the enemy Reyna tried flashing.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was a different game.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking a different game,
Okay,
but
okay.
that happened to me.
No worries, no worries. So okay, so that's all your notes. Overall, bro, you really, really shocked me. Like, even me talking with you, I can understand. You're a really smart dude. So, you're understanding a lot of these things I'm saying. Even when I ask you questions,
My
you're getting it
ultimate's
right
ready.
pretty fast. Some of these students
Right.
I ask, it takes them three,
ult's
4
ready.
times for them to answer, and even they might not even get it right. I have to tell it to them, right? So you can kind of process. I can already tell you have this brain to process information really well. Like when I watch you play, you're super aware of the minimap. You're the one actively feeding your team, so that there tells me you know what the hell's going on. People that don't know what's going on, not gonna say anything, but you're like 1B,
Right.
1C. They're going B. You're literally like, I won't see anything on the map, but your kind of intuition's telling you they're going C, so you start running by yourself, stuff like that. Whatever it may be, but that's that. Okay. So what's your routine right now? Aim training, or warm up, maintaining
I,
exercises.
I don't do any aim training. I don't really
Yep.
like Kovacs,
Yep,
aim
yep,
labs.
yep. It's
Like
all in-game, right?
Like for in game, I usually like if I'm wanting to warm up and I remember to warm up because
Yeah.
most of the time I don't.
Yeah.
I go into the range for 15 minutes, 10
Okay.
minutes,
Okay.
and then after that I'll run like a deathmatch and then a swift play. Then play.
What do you do in the range specifically? Just
Um,
hard bots?
I just spawn in the bots. Make sure I'm comfortable with
Like these
my movement and shooting them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shoot them for a little bit, then
Alright.
I'll track them with my mouse, like their
this?
heads.
Like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really do the hard box. or
So
anything
then,
like that, though.
one thing I'll say with that is, okay, you're gonna have to do this then. Okay, you're gonna do these. It's 5 exercises. This is gonna be your new.
Okay.
You can incorporate where you have already, but I will
Mm-hmm.
suggest that you do this every day. Okay, like obviously you're gonna be busy and stuff. Like maybe not every day, but I try to tell my students, do it every day if you can. If you can't, do it when you play before you play. So this will be your,
Okay.
your warm up slash aim slash movement, maintaining slash improvement exercises. Why I say that? is because you're not gonna stay on the same time forever. Do you work out at all? Go to the gym, play sports, or played sports before?
Mm,
Ever hit
not
the
really,
gym?
no, actually.
Never, ever?
I
Or-
did work out for a bit.
Okay, so I
No
mean,
sports though.
okay, so you probably will understand what progressive overload is, right?
Yeah.
Right, you know, to build muscle, that's the main mechanic of building
Yep.
muscle is high intensity and the length and more exercise and making sure that it's actively getting harder where it becomes not as hard anymore, and then you keep getting it harder, and then that becomes the new baseline, right? So that's
Yeah.
why I say this will be an improvement thing as well. It's not just the warm up. Okay, you need to actively, you know, everyone's different. Sometimes it might take you 1 week,
Mhm.
2 weeks, but you need to make that decision. But it needs to go up in terms of the length of time and more exercises. Okay, but so this is the baseline. Okay, and then, you know, whatever, if we work together or we're not, or you can add stuff together by yourself, then you will. But
Right.
what I'm trying to say is you must, you know, even if it's not weekly, like improving, like going longer weekly, even if it's
Mhm.
monthly or 2 weeks, you must set and track this and being like and
Like have a routine for this.
well, it will be your routine. This will be your pre-game, like
Okay.
before your session. You must do this. Okay, it should be really homework, because it's a benefit to you. If you skip out to it, hey,
Right.
that's on you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really trying to help
True.
you. So this will help. These exercises will help you be super duper duper consistent. Okay, you're still whiffing. You have crazy shots, but you're still
Yeah.
whiffing. And we have to remember, these are silver players, bro. Your true skill is
Yeah.
much higher than them from me just watching you. So once, if you really want to hit your goal, which is a ascendant immortal, which you can, we need to make sure, okay, we are ready for those type of players where they're instantly deleting you as well. Just think about it this way: you're gonna be playing with players with your aim or 10 times better. Okay, you're gonna
Yeah.
feel in those lobbies where you're the worst player in the lobby. Okay, so that's why I'm trying to get you ready for those type climbs and games. Okay, so again, add progressive overload. Minimum this is the baseline. Do 5 minutes each.
Mhm.
Start at 5 minutes each. Whether you go up 6 minutes, 7 minutes, in 1 week, 2 week, 1 month, that's up to you. But it needs to keep
Right.
going up. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I can't emphasize that enough. Okay, so this is called. Do you want a notepad to write things down, or your computer, or do you want to refer back to VOD? It's totally up to you. I just ask my students to see what they like to do.
I'll write stuff down and refer back to the log.
Sure. So tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, perfect. So this first exercise is called left to right headshot. You're gonna come on top of this block, the ledge, turn the bots on, and make sure, obviously, where did it go? Oops, I gotta do that from here. Yep. Bot armor is on, infinite ammo. Okay, and we're going from left to right, back from right to left. Okay, and this is a precision-based exercise. You do not want to miss. You gotta take your time with it. In the beginning, it's gonna be quite hard for. It's quite hard for a lot of people. It was really hard for me. I learned this from Wardell. Okay,
Mhm.
this is a very very good exercise in keeping your aim super crispy, as in super crispy. Like, if you think your aim is crispy now, it's gonna be way better. Okay, so we're going from head to head, point A to B, straight line. So
Mhm.
it adds a little bit of working on our smoothness, okay, and our tracking. So I'm gonna do it really slowly for you, and I'm gonna try to make sure I'm kind of seated properly and stuff.
Right.
I haven't warmed up to anything for today, so just don't try to judge me, say I'm bad or something.
No, you're good.
Okay, but so it's okay to miss. The goal is not to miss, but identify why you miss and how you miss. As in, okay, maybe I overflicked and came back. I underflicked, came back. I whiffed on him on the head. I gotta be more patient, more steady,
Right.
stuff like that. So identify when you do it wrong. But this is a precision-based exercise. So this is how I'll start. You start here, head to head. Okay, right there, I whiffed. I don't know. I was just kind of rushing the shot. Identify what's going on.
Then you go back to the left.
Yep, go back. And when the bots respawn,
Okay.
let's say we're going left and they respawn right side, don't go back to them. Some of my students are going back. Don't go back. Just
Okay.
keep clearing and then come
Just
back
keep
to them.
going left.
Yep. And then in the beginning, like I said, it's gonna be super fucking difficult. But this will help also, not your aim, but control of the mouse, control of where you need to
Right.
put your arm, your wrist, your forearm. For it's always a smooth level on any side of like left or right or whichever movement. So there, I underflick. Gotta kind of take my time. I kind of whiffed on that one. If I want to build some speed, you know, I'm a Phantom player. I don't even know why I'm using Vandal. You can add like a little burst to it if you want. Add a 5-shot spray, 5-shot burst. You can see like I'm a Phantom player, right? Like I'm not really a Vandal too much, but right, like I practice with my Phantom, like and I practice my 2-shot burst. That way, you know, in case of 140s, sometimes I'll do 1
I
tap.
hate that. That's the only reason I don't use Phantom.
Right. But you know, even when you're good with the Phantom, the 140 doesn't bother you because you instantly delete people all the time. But the rate of fire on a Phantom, this is me. Like personally, I think the Phantom is way stronger. But you kind of get the gist of it, okay? Left to right, right to left. That's the first exercise, and then we're gonna come here, boom, 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 and we're gonna come to the range and put it on 10 meters. There's 9 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and this exercise, you can just call it 5-shot burst recoil control. Okay, so it's a 5-shot burst control exercise. So this is me just, you know, 5-shot burst or spraying without recoil, right? Boom, boom, or, right. Okay, this is me trying to control it. I'm gonna try my best. It's the first time doing it today, so I'm not really warm, but I'm gonna try my best. So we're gonna try to keep it as unison as possible and identify where it's going wrong. Okay, like there, my last bullet was too high. Okay? That's not ideal. Okay, that's the most ideal. That's probably a 9 out of 10. Okay, you want it like that. Okay, but not like this, not like that. Okay, and then we work from right to left, left to right. So just keep trying to identify what's going wrong. Like there, like I'm probably not pulling down long enough, right? I start pulling down. Like it's super bad. I haven't warmed up today, so. But like that's probably a little bit better. That's probably a little bit better, right? Make sure it's 5-shot. Go back. Okay, like that's pretty ideal. That's pretty good, right? And then we go left to right. You can just switch it up. You don't have to go like this and this, but you know, if we went like this, you can come back and go the other way, like whatever you want. You can kind of just play with it. But I'll kind of show you what it's for. So it's like 5-shot burst, 5-shot burst, 5-shot burst, right? Where's this one? 5-shot burst. And then when you add it with your sick aim, it's not going to be 5-shot burst body shots. You're going to instantly delete people on the first bullet. So it's preparing you for killing them with the headshots and the second shot. And also, if you cannot headshot them, they're instantly dead. 5-shot burst, 5-shot burst. Right? These are have actual HP as a normal person with in full armor, right? So 5-shot burst, 5-shot burst, 5-shot burst. If I 2-shot, they're not dead, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's that. The next exercise, you're going to stay here. Okay, this is called spray control, spray recoil control, or / spray transfer practice. Okay, so don't just spray and let it come and then pull it down. Okay, you need to immediately control where it's here, and then we start drawing a line. Obviously it's not gonna be perfect like this. You can add like a little movement to it, like a flick if you want, or just keep it nice and smooth. And this one will help, you know, understanding where your crosshair, where you need to pull down to instantly just delete them long range. Look how I'm killing them from so long, right? I just know where the bullets are going just off me controlling the recoil, right? And this is a helps practice where you're in an all-in fight spraying this guy. You know, there are times where you're all in, especially at the higher levels. There's no way you can just kind of like bop, 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 right? So you're all in, and this guy just unexpectedly peeks you, and then just right the rate of fire is the same, and you just instantly delete him and or headshot him because the control is so good where it's headshot level. I still move it, it's headshot level, instantly delete it, headshot, stuff like that. Okay, so that's the third exercise. This fourth exercise, okay, I'm actually quite I want to see you do it too. I kind of want to see where you're at with this. So you know what dead zoning is? I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you play with shooting error on? I didn't see if you did.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't have any of the graphics.
Yeah, I probably would recommend you to play with it on. You don't have to. It's not that annoying. Like people are worried that it's annoying, but honestly, I don't even see it when I play.
I used to play with it on.
Yeah. So I'll just. Do you know what the colors mean? Blue and the orange. Okay, so I'll just explain it. Blue is your movement error, as in if I'm moving and shooting, it's gonna show blue, and yellow. That means I'm moving and shooting, and it's super inaccurate. Yellow is our shooting inaccuracy. So you know, if I'm not controlling my spray, or if I'm trying to but it's really bad, it's still gonna show yellow. Okay. Obviously there's blue because I was kind of moving as well. But if I don't control it, it goes super like that. Look at that, it's super high, right?
Right.
So this exercise is to practice our dead zone. You need to get this at a 10 out of 10 to be a high level player. Okay. There was the last 2 VODs I did with the Immortal 1 and the Ascendant 2, bro, like they
Mhm.
both struggle with this. Like they were struggling, and they're high, like higher level, much higher level than you, right? They were struggling with this.
Right.
You'll see it in the VOD if you watch it. Like Simba, my long-term student, he was like struggling. We were both laughing, like, bro, you need to work on
Yeah.
this, right? And he got back to me. He said he's working on it a lot. But so we come to this first billboard, and then we're gonna go to this billboard. We're not moving our crosshair. We're just parallel to the wall. Okay, it's a movement-based exercise, and it's incorporating our shooting. So we shoot, stop here, and shoot. But you see how I'm accurate, right? The bullet's not flying.
Right.
So I'm properly dead zoning, and I actively look, right? Like there, obviously, it's a burst, but just try to do it with one tap. So I try to identify if I'm moving. So it's 0.2 means I'm 100%, maybe not 100, but 95, 99% accurate in terms of when I point there and shoot it, it's gonna hit wherever my crosshair is. So we do 5 each side. So we come, stop, shoot, come the other way, stop. I let go of my keyboard and shoot. Okay, so we're not moving our crosshair like this, but so we got
Right.
5 each side, right? And then we cut it in half, so it's a smaller movement. Okay, where you're actually really focusing on your brain. Okay, like it's like rubbing your tummy and tapping your head. Okay, and make sure it's 0.2, 0.25, 0.27, 0.28 is fine. Nothing above 0.3. If you're above 0.3, it means you're gonna lose some gunfights because of it. So you gotta make sure you're 100% accurate when you're dead zoning. Okay, and then you cut it in half again, so it's a smaller movement. Okay, so more of a brain power. And make sure, like there, I whiff, right? I just know I don't need to look at the graph. So make sure it's 0.2. Look at these numbers coming up, right? 0.2, 0.2. So that means I'm super accurate, right? And then we cut it in half again. Okay, so we cut it in half 3 times. We're standing still, and we're not moving. We're not going like this with our crosshair to make that movement. We're just using
Right.
W, A, and D. Okay. In the beginning, I used to cheat like that because I was doing the Immortal roadmap. This is where I learned it from. And
Right.
I would. They would make you record a video, and I was like, it looked like it, but I wasn't doing it properly. Right. I was kind of cheating, right? So, I was very bad at school, but so I'm there's a little bit of it where you're right, because you gotta there's a little movement, but it's not a
Right.
big one. So just have a little one. A little one is okay, but it's gotta be 0.2. So look at my screen. This is more for a long range fight where the pixels are so small, and I'm just micro adjusting,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna fucking delete this guy because I'm 100% accurate, and he's missing on me because I'm moving. Okay, so look at that number, 0.2, 0.2. Okay, so left billboard, right billboard, 5 each side, and then cut it in half, 5 each side, and then cut it in half, 5 each side, and then actively go longer and longer. Like tomorrow or this week we'll stay at 5. Next week we'll go 7, and then or
Okay.
or even if it's even if you want to go longer from the get-go because you're like, yo, I really want to improve this, you can. Like if you want to do this for 30 minutes, do it for 30 minutes. It's really, 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 really beneficial to your game. There's gonna be so many scenarios where, and I'll kind of explain that after, but. So that's the 4th one. This is the last exercise. Okay, so we turn the box back on, and we come to this wall, and now we incorporate our dead zoning with our wall peeking skills, wall peeking mechanics, which you really have good ones. Okay, you understand a lot of the advanced ones, and our aim, and it trains our real-time scenario where we're behind the wall, we hear a guy walking down, not this bot, but this guy's just running down, and we just instantly deletion. Okay, so we're gonna do 20 bots. We're gonna switch sides, but for now so in the beginning, just start with your wide swing. Okay,
Okay.
wide swing. And, try to be accurate. Obviously, it's okay. And don't always stay parallel. Don't. Some of my students were like peeking like this. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
Okay.
this is you gotta come out, right? You gotta mimic the game. Like if you're in a gunfight,
Right.
you're not gonna come out like that. You're gonna swing this guy
Right.
parallel to the wall you are on. So, right. Sorry, I'm just kind of whiffing a little bit, but so come a little bit deeper, and then come back. Right. Don't just dead zone here and then just AFK. Come back as well. So come back because you need to take cover. Right. There's multiple
Right.
people peeking you, or there's a follow up. Right. Let me just clear these bots. Come to the right, to the left a little bit. Okay, and then we can incorporate a jiggle. I'm kind of lagging. Right, where there's multiple people, right? We're not gonna wide swing into 5 people. We're gonna wide swing into 1, max 2. Even then, you probably won't do it. You shouldn't be doing it. So and then we can just add like a jiggle where we need to take fire, and we're still. It looks like I'm moving, right? But I'm not. So this is where the dead zoning comes into play, where I'm like on their screen it's gonna be looking like I'm full running, but I know that the dead zoning skill is there where I'm actively stopped when I'm shooting them. And obviously in my shooting area it's still off, but it was bad. Like it's 0.36 and it's still accurate while I'm jiggling, but the movement is really hard. I explained to all my students that the jiggling one is, you're not gonna get perfect 0.2. Okay, you probably could practice to get it a perfect 0.2, but it's quite hard, right? Like, but anyway, so 20 each side. Start with the wide swing. Add those later on when you add progressive overload. But wide swing, dead zone, come back, come back, come back. Nice and slow. Just really work on this movement, okay? And then we do 20 on this side. 20. This is the baseline, and then we do 20 on this side, okay? And then I can kind of show you real quick on this side. Same thing. So you're kind of incorporating everything here, not just the movement that we practice, but we're incorporating it into a real-time scenario. Where I'm picking a wall, I'm wide swinging this guy, instant deletion, wherever it may be. You can even add like a little micro adjustment, or even a little burst, or even a spray with it. Okay, whatever you want. Just get creative, make sure it's getting better, stuff like that. Okay, so that's it, bro. That's all the exercise. Really do all these for 5 minutes for now. I wouldn't say go up to 10 minutes the next day. Stay on it for a week. And then go to like 6 minutes, stay on it for another week, go to 7, and then obviously you're not going to go up to 100 minutes each, right? But there needs to be like a good growth where you're doing it for 10 minutes now, where it's super easy. You've built it up, stuff like that. Obviously you can do this as long as you want. I'm not saying only do it for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or keep it in that range. If you want to do it for 40 minutes, an hour, you're more than welcome. That's what I used to do with this one. I would come in here, blast my music, having a bad day of gaming, losing all my games. My games sucked. I would just fucking do this for like 40 minutes, and I go into the next game and just shred shit up, right? So it's really all like situational, but the baseline is 5 minutes each exercise. So it will take 25 minutes for now, okay? And then get it to a level where it's around 40 minutes before you play. I know it seems long, but that's where you'll really become a mortal player. And I explained to all my students, if you watch the pros, back when the game first came out, I've been playing this game since beta. Most of the pros back then never used to tell what they did, right? They didn't want people gaining that same edge that they had. They wanted to stay ahead of the curve.
Right.
But now that everyone has caught up, they don't give a fuck because it's pointless to hide it. Everyone's almost on the same skill, like catching up. So they do that for content where they show their aim training or stuff like that. So it's a little bit different. But yeah. So what was I gonna say? Coming to that point, yeah, just yeah, I just kind of lost my train of thought for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, just yeah, they used to show it. Now they show it. So all the pros, they really are in the range for 3 to 4 hours. Like the pros, right? Some guys practice this for like fucking 5 hours a day. Like, how can you do that? But his tracking is probably insane, right? Like even me, when I would do this exercise, my mouse would be like I could not keep it on the head. But now it's like it's much better, right? I can kind of still like always kind of keep it on the head no matter where I'm going. And I haven't even practiced that much. But you kind of get a sense of what Radiant players do. They stay in the range. They'll just shoot bots for like 3 hours, shit like that per day. Like, that's really how they got their aim. So, yeah, that's it for the session. Do you have any questions, concerns, stuff like that?
Not really.
Okay, great. Yeah, so that's the session. If you want to continue to work with me, whether it's once a week, twice a week, feel free to just reach out and let me know. I have a better rates. I don't know what your schedule is like, but I have better rates for people that do more than 4 times a week, so minimum 4 times a week. And I also give them a free training schedule, as in like a personalized one. Like you tell me your schedule, what work you have, whatever. Like some of my long-term students don't have anything going on, so they chose a 7-day schedule to follow. And I'm like, are you sure you want that? Because that's 7 days of work.
Yeah.
And he's like, yes, because he wants to go pro.
Descendant too.
Right, exactly. Different story, right? So you can. I'll let you choose between even maybe a 3-day if you want. But yeah, so just reach out to me if whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's it, bro. Great session. I know it was really long. I just wanted to be really thorough. I'm really thorough with all my guys. And yeah,
I appreciate it.
That's it. No problem, man. I'm gonna send you these notes, and then the VOD will be up tonight. Okay. All right, man. Take care. Have a good day.
You too.
You too. Okay.
Did you want to watch me do the?
Oh yeah. Let me just watch you do the dead zoning. I totally forgot. Sorry. I just kind of wanted to see where it was. Yeah, so just go to the billboard and make sure you're parallel. Yep, perfect. Good. Yeah, it's better than Simba's and you're silver. Like his was worse. Like there was bad, right? You gotta identify you moved. The shooting area is on as well. And then let's cut it in half. Let's see the smaller ranges.
Okay.
There, you're still moving. Yeah, it starts to get difficult around here, because the movement is much smaller. Right? Yeah, there's some error, but I think it's better than Simba's, and he's a Ascendant 2 player, and you're silver, so obviously he's improved it now. Right? You kind of see where the difficulty is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super. So
In the
practice
smaller
it.
ranges.
Yes. Let me see the last one where you're kind of standing still. The third. You cut it in half twice. Let's cut it in half one more time. Yes. Okay. That looks good. So your close one is pretty good, but still some error. Yeah. You see the bullets on the left side?
Yeah.
They're just going. See, so once you get this down, you're never gonna have that problem anymore. And if you're having a problem, right, like that's much better, much better. But even then, add a little bit more of a strafe, quote unquote. It's a little bit too slow. It looks like you're cheating. Right, right. That looks much better. Yes, good. But once you get this down to a T, bro, I'm telling you, you're never gonna lose gunfights because your bullets are always accurate, and not even just you. I'm just saying anybody. Right? Because like that example where you were doing on the second one, the bullets are going to the left. If you ever swing somebody like that and you shot him, you're dead. You're instantly deleted. Your bullets go whiffing. So, and that's kind of what I saw in your shooting. Is it isn't that you have bad micro adjustment mechanics. It's inconsistent. But it's not inconsistent because you don't practice your aim. It's just because of your movement and your aim is not combined together. It needs to become one. They're integrated together. Okay. And yeah, that's it, bro. Really great session, man. It looks good. Just keep working on it every day. And bro, you will hit your goal. I'm telling you, you really shocked me today. So just keep working on stuff. And don't just work on aim. Work on everything else. Positioning, movement, utility usage, your game sense. That's it outweighs it outweighs aim tenfolds, okay? There's so many Radiant players that got to Radiant without aim. They're just like diamond level aim, and they always bot frag, obviously, but they're playing a role, right? They only play small, sentinel.
They're playing their job.
They're doing the brain game. They know how to play the brain game at the higher level. That's it. So that's it, man. Thank you, bro. Thanks for the session, and I'll let you know when the VOD's up, okay?
Okay.
Thanks.
Adios.
Okay, that's that. Okay, I'm gonna take a break. Stream. Simba, what's up? I'm gonna be back. Gotta go eat and stuff. Gotta chill out for the next session. All right, later. Jeez.